Tonight. Hello and welcome in, guys. This is the 428th episode of the Dean Withers Show. For everybody tuning in, I really appreciate y'all so much for being here. This is a late night live. It is 8:07 p.m. out here in Grand Junction, Colorado. We're only going to be live for around 2 hours tonight. I may go longer if I feel like I have the energy in me. But folks, I'm going to be honest. I've been traveling all day long, and it is just simply getting way too much for me. I'm pretty dang tired. Originally, my plan was to not hop on tonight at all and just to start up tomorrow with our typical 4-hour streams. But I'm here because I have missed y'all. Genuinely, I have. I've missed you guys so much. I've missed these live streams, and I'm so excited to get back into it. Now, listen, guys. We're going to quickly go through the breaking news. This is breaking news that some of you guys are probably already familiar with because it's more so a collection of what has stuck out to me over the course of the last 3 days. It seems like Donald Trump is all alone. Let me tell you why. So they announced 10 lead artists for the America 250 rally event occurring out in front of the White House this year on July 4th. It's essentially the celebration of the 250th birthday, quote unquote, of America. And they announced 10 singers that will be appearing and front running the performance. Now, here's the thing. 7 of these 10 singers have since stepped down and said that they never agreed to do this. They don't know why the hell their names are up there. And some of them even had condemnation for the Trump administration. They've all left. Now, since this happening, Donald Trump has been crashing out over it. It has been brutal on Truth Social, folks, as you can imagine. Okay? So he is now saying that he will be headlining America 250. None of these terrible singers that, I don't know, it seems like they were willing to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to headline this event. He will now be headlining this event. Quote unquote, only true patriots are invited, and it's going to be a blast. So that's, what we've heard from the president. What a mess. There's been some other big losses here. The Trump Kennedy Center, if you saw my video 2 days ago, is no more. A federal judge has ruled that Donald Trump placed his name on the building illegally, that the building was named after one president, not two, and his name needs to come down at once. That also pissed Trump off. We saw another judge place a temporary injunction on any work continuing their $1.8 billion slush fund for people on the right who were quote-unquote victimized by the Biden DOJ. This is good. It's giving valuable time to Congress to hopefully act. But like I said, it's only temporary. I think it extends around 3 weeks. But that all aside, I think that we're caught up. That's what's really stuck out to me over the course of the last 2.5 days while I've been gone. Donald Trump has been having some massive losses. And that's encouraging to hear because I feel like we don't hear about his losses enough, right? Now also, guys, the last 2 days for me have been crazy. I haven't been live because I've been in LA filming for Jubilee. In fact, I filmed 2 Jubilee videos. I can't share the specifics with you guys. I haven't been cleared for that yet. Just know that I'm super excited for y'all to see them. The first Jubilee episode was a roundtable, a 2v2, and the second Jubilee video, now this is the one I'm really excited about, because I'm not going to lie, the roundtable was some bullshit. I did another Surrounded. I'm sure that many of y'all's very first impression with me was the 1v20 on Jubilee that I did in 2024. What was it? 1 liberal teen versus 20 MAGA adults. Well, I did another one, and you guys are in for a treat. It was insane. Now, I won't be able to share the specifics with you guys. I can't even tell y'all like who I debated or, what the unique spin on the episode was. And you guys are just going to have to wait and see for yourselves. Just know that I am so very excited for this episode to air. It is going to be so cool to watch it back. But I won't lie, it was so tiring. Oh my goodness. Once I got done filming this Jubilee episode, I was in a mess. I was in complete disarray. My head hurt, my stomach hurt. I just wanted to like sleep all day long, and I've been tired since. Genuinely, it is the first time I can remember that a debate has extended beyond impacting my mental health by making me mentally exhausted and literally made me physically unhealthy. It was insane. All right, guys, let's go ahead and hop into those debates. We already do have the very first Trump supporter of the day connected to the live stream. OVO, if you want to come back to TikTok and take it away and tell us why you are MAGA, we'll happily hear you out. But, folks, I think that OVO is leaving, so we're going to leave him on the live in case he decides he wants to come back. But go ahead and hop inside of the guest request if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. You guys, we're specifically and only looking for Trump supporters to bring up here to have debates with. We're only going to be live for around 2 hours tonight because it's already late and I've been traveling all day. But we got Blake connecting to the live stream. Tracy, thank you so much for the $10 on Super Chat, who says, missed you. Hope your time at the beach was restorative and you're ready to kick some ass again. Well, I appreciate you so much for that. Thank you. It looks like OSO, sorry, not OVO, is back. I sent you an invite to turn your mic on. DB, thank you. Thank you so much for that, Leon the Kitten. I appreciate you. Thank you. Listen, OSO, the mic and the floor are yours. Tell us why you support Trump as president.
He pardoned Conor McGregor. He pardoned Mike Tyson. He's a great person outside of political opinions. He's just too good of a guy.
Yeah, well, I don't know what bullshit you've been told. Listen, he actually didn't pardon Mike Tyson. That's some bullshit. And Conor McGregor, I don't think he's been found guilty of any crime in America that he could be pardoned for. So exactly. I'm pretty sure you're convinced of some bullshit.
You just don't know what you're talking about. Nope, you just don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, you seem confident. Give me a source.
A source?
Yeah, because I looked it up, okay? You know, if you go on Google and you just type in, did Trump pardon Tyson? It says no. So, where's the source? That Donald Trump pardoned Tyson. You know, in fact, what I see here is that Mike Tyson has claimed Donald Trump once promised him a pardon for his rape conviction. That's insane, by the way. But he never got it.
Shout out to my nigga Trey Wheatley. Shout out to my nigga Got a Skirt.
Okay. Yeah. We'll just start screaming the N-word. Guys, only up inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. Please and thank you. Only up inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. 1 second, you guys. Okay, all right, guys, we're going to get that next guest connected to the live stream right now, so go ahead and hop inside of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. My girlfriend was standing outside of the door making, like, hand signals to me, and I was trying to, like, figure out what she was saying, so I unplugged my microphone, and she told me that she can't find her phone and was asking me to call it, so that makes sense why she didn't just text me, because she doesn't know where her phone is. Let's go and get that next guest connected to the live stream. Welcome in, you support Trump, Lucas.
Dean, can you debate my mom, please?
Yeah, is your mom with you right now, and has she already agreed to a conversation?
Yes, she did.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Hi, so she's here. I'm going to be with her, too, while you're talking to her.
Hi, ma'am. Welcome.
Hi. How are you?
Welcome in. I'm doing all right. Listen, it's been a long day. So, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah. I voted for him.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Listen, well, actually, sounds bad. But listen, on this live stream, I like to talk to people that voted for Trump, still support him as president today, in an attempt to convince them that they shouldn't. Because listen, from my perspective, Donald Trump is the worst president of your life, regardless if you're 818 or 80. Everybody has a reason to hate him. He's been failing this country. His domestic policy has been terrible. The outcomes in the real world have sucked ass. And I want to hear from you why you disagree. Why do you think that Donald Trump is a good president?
Well, I don't know that I think he's a good president. I think he was the better option of the two people who were running.
Okay. So you think if Harris was elected, America would be in a worse off position today?
I do.
Okay. All right. Why?
Well, first, what she stood for didn't align with my views or beliefs. She was forced into the Democratic Party. I mean, she wasn't even legally didn't go through the legal process to even be in the race. So
Okay, so that's not necessarily true. Yeah, you could say that you didn't like the fact that the Democrats didn't hold an open primary where the American voters didn't get to vote her in, but there was nothing illegal about that process. In fact, that happens all the time. Inevitably, all in which is required from the Democratic Party is that the delegates, at least a majority of the delegates, would agree on one candidate, and they did. And the delegates are different from like the voters. And by the way, the primary process is the same for the Republican Party. But listen, the reason why there wasn't an open primary is because there wasn't enough time to do an open primary.
Right.
The reason why there wasn't enough time to do an open primary is because Biden stepped down a little bit over 100 days before the election.
Did
And I'll
he,
disagree
though, or
with
was
that
he forced
Biden's
out?
decision. And I think that that was a bad move from him. I think that he should have I think that he should have upheld the promise that he made to only be a one-term president and shouldn't have even put his hat in the bid in the first place for a re-election for that second term. But listen, at the end of the day, this doesn't matter relative to the claim that if Harris won, things would be worse off today. Because even if she was forced into that position, even if she was totally unqualified, which she's not, she still would have been better than Trump. I mean, if we just compare the policy she ran on to the policy that Trump is implementing today, it's night and day. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's destroyed this economy. There's not one fact of our economy that's better off today than it was a year and a half ago. He's broken many of his promises. He said that he's starting no new wars. Now we have a new war that's skyrocketed the price of gas the most in a month since the Vietnam War. In fact, can you please name your favorite policy so far from Trump under a second term?
My favorite policy. Well, first of all, I'm not a fan of Trump right now, so that I'll say. I think his first time around was better. I don't like him as a human. I don't like him as a person. I voted for him simply because I do not agree with Kamala Harris or her views. I think our country would be much worse off. I don't think.
What views?
A lot of views. Her religious views. My religious views differ from her views.
Okay, so I'd assume that you're not a Christian then?
I am a Christian,
we are
but
Christians.
she listen.
So
she
she
can
was a
claim
Christian.
to be
She's
a
a
Christian all
Baptist.
she likes. She can claim to be a Christian all she likes, but when she's pushing agendas down young children's throats and confusing them, and it's not just her. She's not saying she's pushing the agendas, but she's okay with those
what
agendas.
agenda
being
was she
pushed.
pushing down the throats of children?
Specifically transgender.
Oh, okay, that we should be
they,
accepting of
them.
trans people. Okay, so there's
No,
absolutely listen. There's absolutely nothing anti-Christian about the claim that we should be accepting of trans people. I think that the gospel is clear: love thy neighbor, be accepting of all. But don't even start by claiming, oh, well, the reason why I didn't vote for the reason
I
why
never
I
said
think
I
she'd
was
be worse off today
I wasn't accepting
was
of them,
because
though. You're putting words in my mouth. I never said that. I never said that I wasn't accepting of all people because I am. However, I'm not accepting of the fact that they cram it down young people's throats and young people get confused. How? How? She literally put out an ad that said, "I'm for they, them."
yeah, I am for trans people. Yes. Yes, I think that we should all be for everybody. I think that we should be for I think that we should be for humanity. I think that we should be for people. I think that we should be for trans people. I think that we should be for cis people. I think that we should be for everybody. And listen, the reason why you would see people on the left, okay, that hold this sense of empathy, putting out statements and ads specifically about trans individuals, okay, is because trans people are some of the most oppressed members of society today. There are groups of crazies on the internet and in real life that will base their entire social presences off of how they literally want all trans people to die. You could find a gore on Twitter of trans people getting shot and killed by cops.
That is not
self-unaliving, so on and so forth. Just because people take great pleasure out of watching trans people get hurt, and it's not like this attack is relative just to random people on the internet, but it's also systemic. Now trans people possess less rights than cis people. They can't join the military. Cis people can. Donald Trump has told his DOJ to try to find any and all ways to ban any and all gun ownership for all law-abiding trans American citizens.
Okay, I want to ask you a
blatant
question.
and patent violation of the Second Amendment. So of course, if Kamala Harris says that she's for trans people, okay, that's not an anti-Christian message. That is a promotion of a message of inclusivity, which I hope would be included within the values of the gospel. Now, last thing I'll say here before I pass the mic back to you is I don't understand how you could say that Harris was a false Christian because she said that she's for trans people,
I say she was a
but
false
Donald
Christian?
Trump
You did.
is
I said she
not
claims to be.
a
I never said
false
she was a false
Christian,
Christian.
even
Whoa, whoa,
though
whoa, whoa.
he raped a
Wait.
woman, called for the genocide of 60 million Iranians, said that he was going to destroy their entire civilization, or said that he took great pride and found it funny when he would sexually exploit the beauty pageant contestants at the beauty pageants that he owned.
I, first of all, never claimed Trump to be a good Christian. And I'm not claiming that Kamala is not a Christian. Her standards are different than mine.
Excuse me, Dean. Can I just say one thing to help because me and my mom have had this conversation many times.
Yeah, that's fine. But what I will say here, then you could go, is, ma'am, you said, I never said that Harris wasn't a Christian. No, you said that the difference in the values that you hold are about religion.
Well, they are.
So then you don't think that she shares your religious values. So
my
you
beliefs.
don't think that she's
I'm not
a
saying
Christian.
her beliefs, whatever she believes is up to her. I'm saying they're against my beliefs.
Okay, so then you're arguing here that therefore she's not a Christian.
It's more the Democratic Party.
Your religious values are that Jesus is king, Jesus is God.
Yes, and the Democrats are trying to remove him from this country.
Didn't we just
In my
agree that
opinion.
she was Christian?
You told me she was a Christian. That doesn't mean if she was a listen, Luke. I don't want to get into this.
All right. My mom, she's kind of a little, has different views than from a lot of people. I would like to specify specifically, I am Christian, but I'm not neither of us are against anyone. If you want to be that is, we support people in whole. It goes against our beliefs, but I will never shame someone. We will never shame someone for being who they are. That is not who we are. So I don't want people to get that impression of us. We are good people before we leave this live. I, for one, am a Democrat. I identify as a Democrat. My mother is an independent, but she did vote for Donald Trump. And I wanted to try and give her a chance to explain why she did, because she's been watching you for a while and she wanted to talk.
Okay. Well, listen, the last thing I'll leave you with, Lucas's mom, I think that the GOP and the right really today are propped up by this baseless rhetoric of like, oh, the Dems want everybody to be trans. So they could like point out
that's what I said.
building that they set on fire, okay, which is just the scapegoat for, the Trump administration and the GOP absolutely like rolling low-income Americans by taking healthcare away from 10 million of them when we already have 51,000 that die annually. I think that there are significantly bigger issues than this social conflict on if trans people are or are not people, right? Like, how about we just say that everybody's a person? Everybody has the same base of fundamental rights, and it's important to treat others with dignity, love, and respect. And the reason why you see so many people, myself included, advocating for members of the trans community is because there's just simply people who do not treat them with that same dignity, love, and respect. But as it relates to federal politics, ultimately, the question of trans people should be irrespective and irrelevant to federal politics, because we should be focusing on the health and well-being of the average American, encompassing everyone, the economy and its performance, ensuring that wages are keeping up with inflation and that people have the basic necessities to live. And then the moment that you continue and justify your continual support for a candidate that is eroding the economy of this country, destroying the low and the middle class, taking purchasing power away from the average American, stress testing our Constitution, and starting new wars overseas because the other option accepted trans people is insane to me. It's completely ludicrous.
You're not a woman either, right? So your rights aren't being infringed on when they come into a woman's bathroom or a woman's locker room or take an opportunity away from a woman athlete. So, respectfully, I don't think that you have the same struggles with it that a woman would. So,
okay. So I agree. I've never been a woman that's been sexually exploited by a man walking into my dressing room, but you know who was? The beauty pageant contestants at Miss Teen USA and Miss USA, who Donald Trump barged into their dressing rooms of to look at them naked, and then proudly boasted about it. The man that you accept in the Oval Office today. And I don't think that trans women are infringing upon the rights of cis women when they use a woman's restroom. In fact, I think that the restrooms are safer when they're segregated on the basis of gender identity compared to biological sex, or else trans men who look identical or more masculine than cis men would be using the woman's restroom. Then all of a sudden, you wouldn't know if there were cis men or not in the women's restroom because of it. But okay, listen, at the end of the day, I just don't see that this is a reason to support Trump or to say that Harris would be worse for the country. It doesn't address her economic policy to increase the child tax credit nearly double from what it was under Trump. It doesn't address her tax policy of cutting the taxes of 120 million working class Americans and the low and the middle class. It doesn't address her anti-war foreign policy. The Biden-Harris administration is the most anti-war admin in modern American history. Okay, it doesn't address all of the domestic wins under Biden that she helped with, like the Chips and Science Act that made 500,000 jobs. It just addresses like this pipe dream claim that all Republicans make the moment when they know there's nothing going for them within their party. Well, I'm going to stick on this and stay on this the sinking ship because the Democrats love trans people. It's just it's weird.
Okay, cool. We'll agree to disagree then. Thank you.
She left.
Okay. Well, Lucas,
But
I appreciate you for coming up and
Yeah,
let me give it a shot.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, take care, man. We're going to move on to the next guest, folks. For everybody joining in, I really appreciate y'all so much for being here. Thank you so much once again. Guys, we will be live for a little shorter than usual, likely around 2 hours. I'm really tired, folks. I don't know. Maybe you could see that I just don't have that same spark that I usually do. But we're here nonetheless for 2 hours. So in the meantime, guys, make sure to share out this live with a handful of friends. Hit that repost button with that share button. Double tap on that phone screen and go ahead and hop inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. Welcome into You Support Trump. Nope, they're not here. Moving on to the next guest, folks. Guys, we usually need around 10,000 people in the TikTok stream in order to get a consistent flow of MAGA debates going. So please make sure that you're double tapping on that phone screen, spamming that comment section, and sharing out this live so we could try to boost that live to get more Trump supporters in here. Welcome in, user. Do you support Trump?
Hi, Dean. Yeah, I do. I was just wondering, can I please debate with you on abortion or immigration?
How old are you?
20,
What time is it?
9:28,
Okay, what state are you in?
Illinois.
Guys, is Illinois Central? Let me know down below. Eric, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo, man. Thank you. That is ERIC. Show some love to Eric down below. Eric with the 20 says, Dean, your streams have kept me sane in a MAGA world. Many thanks and best wishes. Thank you so much, man. Same thing to you, Margaret. This came in 14 minutes ago. Thank you so much for the $25. Who says thank you from Margaret. Margaret, it is so good to see you tonight. I'm so happy that you're here with us. I hope that you enjoy our stream. Please show some love to Margaret down below. Let's get 250 Margaret W's in that chat. Same thing to you, Jada. Thank you for the 5. Jonathan, thank you so much for the $25. Thank you. Jonathan with the 25. Let's get 250. Jonathan Dubs says, welcome back, Dean. I debated some pro-life hacks, and when they couldn't defend child torture, they kicked me immediately. What a joke. Thank you for all that you do, my friend. Yes, thank you so much for shitting on them, Jonathan. Based. And then Cheyenne, thank you for the $5. And over on Super Chat, Laura T with the 10. Thank you so much, Cheyenne and Laura T. Then over on PayPal, thank you, Leah, for the 2. Abigail with a 5. Luis with a 5. SJ, thank you for the $15. Who says, missed ya. Hey, SJ, how we doing? It's good to see you tonight. I've missed you and everybody else. It was hard being away for a couple days. And then we just have one last person to thank for now. Then we'll go ahead and hop into that debate. Lazy, Lucky Lazy, thank you so very much for the $60 donation on PayPal. That is beyond kind of you. That is genuinely so much money. You've been supporting me in the stream so much recently. Know that I appreciate you. $60 goes a long way where I live. Let's get 600 Lazy W's in that chat. Lazy with a 60 says, good to see you on live again. Hope you're feeling rested and well. Can't wait to see the Jubilee video. Oh, I can't wait to see it either. Oh my goodness. It is going to be so very good, Lazy. Thank you for the $60. Once again, I did another surrounded episode for everybody watching. Another 1v20. Can't share more than that for now. Can't wait for y'all to see it. Go ahead and take it away and tell us why you support Trump, sir.
Yeah, my question, Dean, was I was wondering if I could debate with you on abortion or immigration.
Okay. Well, do you support Trump because of his policy on abortion or immigration? Is that the position?
Yeah, it was one of the leading causes of why I voted for him in 2024, as well as the immigration. Just off of the things he was saying, off of the stuff his administration was pushing, just basically the propaganda that they were pushing about, ICE and all that. Seeing how it unfolded now, I definitely think differently of it, but not fully different. So I would still say the reason why I say I support him still is because I voted for him, so I can't really go back on it.
Okay, so you just acknowledged that a lot of what he ran on was propaganda, but you still support him because you were fooled into voting for him, and your pride is preventing you from realizing you were in the wrong. No, sir, you actually can go back on it. You can recognize that you were wrong, and that's something that people should do. People should recognize when they're wrong.
No, I'm not saying I don't recognize. I'm saying I still like. I'm saying yes to you because I voted for
Okay.
him.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what do you want to talk about first? Abortion or
I just want.
immigration?
Yo, we could talk about immigration.
Okay. So what's your
So I
favorite
know.
Trump immigration policy? Let's hear it.
Well, I'm not too sure. I mean, he's more aggressive when it comes to just the deportations of illegals. But my thing is that I don't really agree with it fully because I feel like I don't think it should be something too like pushed. Give me one sec.
Give you a second. Okay. Well, I mean, listen, my next question will be what is one positive material outcome of Donald Trump's mass deportation that we've seen so far in his second term? Love to see it. Unless he's just leaving? Unless he's just going away.
Nah,
Quite
I'm still
frankly.
here, Dean.
Okay, so what's one positive
Okay.
outcome, like material positive outcome of Trump's mass deportation so far in the last year and a half?
Well, I mean, we got rid of the people that aren't supposed to be in the country.
Okay, and like how has that made our country better? Getting rid of undocumented immigrants?
Well, it
Because
doesn't
you're just
necessarily make it
redefining the
better,
word.
but it's
Okay,
just
doesn't
it's
make it
just following the law, isn't it?
Okay. Does it make it worse? Do you think that we'd be able to identify like negative material outcomes?
I don't think it makes it like better overnight or at all because we're
Okay, I'm
deporting
not
some
asking you
people
if it
that
makes it
doesn't.
better. Do you think it may make it worse? Do you think that maybe if we were to consider the fact that undocumented immigrants pay $100 billion per year in taxes, contribute 1.1 through $1.7 trillion per year to the GDP, and are 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes, and then when we deport them, forcefully expelling 8.6 million of our workers and 12 million of our laborers, that ultimately that's going to reduce the productive capacities of our economy because then there's less people to buy goods from our manufacturers and less people to create goods for our manufacturers. So then all of a sudden, our economy as a whole is less productive. Like clearly, mass deportation is something that would make the material conditions in this country worse. So if we could only identify ways in which it makes America worse and we can't identify ways in which it makes America better, then it's probably not policy that we should support because it's a net con.
Well, I mean, that's you're kind of summing it up though, but that's not every immigrant. That's not everybody. That's not every migrant that's coming here. Some of them are untraceable. They're untrackable. So how are you going to tell me that that is true what you're saying? I'm not saying everyone is bad. There's ones that are following and doing exactly what you just described, but that's not every one of them. And the ones that aren't doing it, some of them are being deported. So, is that bad or is that good?
Is what bad or good?
The ones that are not doing whatever you were just describing. And even the ones that are doing it, they're not supposed to be here. So it's
Okay,
simple
well,
as that.
I think the question that you're trying to ask me here is, well, for undocumented immigrants that are committing bad crimes in America, should they be removed? Yeah, they should. They should be deported or thrown in jail. That's fine. But listen, the point is, for everybody else, undocumented immigrants with no bad crimes on their record, we should just allow them to stay here because it's what's better for them and us.
Is that fair to the other people that waited years to get a visa or to actually come here legally? Is that fair
Yeah,
to
because
them?
then it gives them a country that's better off for them. It makes their literal material conditions better. In fact, I'd
No. Is
argue
it
that mass
fair to the
deportation
people
is
that came
unfair.
here fairly?
I just answered your question. I said, yes, it is fair. It'd be unfair for us to do mass deportation because then all of a sudden we're giving a worse off country for legal immigrants to walk into after they've spent thousands of dollars and waited 10 to 20 years.
Yeah. How is it fair though? I mean, you're kind of
Because we're
answering it very
giving them a
vaguely.
better
I don't
country
understand.
we're giving them a better country to come into.
No, the people that fairly came here, I'm talking
I
about. Do you think
I
it's
know
fair to
that's who you're
them?
talking about. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. We just got done having a discussion about how mass deportation only hurts America. And we cannot identify even one material way in which it helps America. So then your shift to the goalpost is, well, do you think that mass amnesty is fair to the legal immigrants who waited a long time? Yeah, clearly it's fair because if mass deportation hurts our country and mass amnesty helps our country, what hurt means is to make worse, what help means is to make better. Well, then we are making our country better to then better fit and serve to the needs and opportunities and free will of the legal immigrants who have waited 10 to 20 years for entry.
Yeah, well, so that's the thing. Like, I agree with you on a lot of that. what I was like, if I was in the position of, if I was in charge, right, and if we're catching these people that are not supposed to be here, these migrants or whatnot, if we see that they're genuine, good, honest, working people, we shouldn't be just aggressively deporting them. We should try to find a way to, figure out how to get them legal. So, because they're at the end of the day, they're not doing anything bad. But my huge problem is liberals defending people that are clearly not supposed to be here. First of all, they're not supposed to be here, and then they also commit crimes and walk around the country like they own it. That's what I have a huge problem with. And I
Okay,
think
so
that's
then are
most
you agreeing with
Republicans
it? Are
too.
you agreeing with the
I mean,
position
I'm
that
agreeing with you,
we should give
Semites.
a
Yeah,
pathway to citizenship or residency for like all undocumented immigrants that don't have bad crimes on their record? Is that your
sure,
position?
yeah, but that's not how simple life is. I think
Oh,
I definitely
okay.
agree
So
with you.
so then you don't
The
support
reason why
Trump's
it's not
immigration
simple,
policy.
no, but the reason why it's not that simple is
Well,
because if
what is
you
simple
open
is
up
if you
that
do support
pathway, there's going to
amnesty
be criminals
for
coming here that
undocumented
want to get that.
immigrants with no bad crimes on their records, okay? Well, then all of a sudden, you clearly don't support Donald Trump's plan to remove every single undocumented immigrant from the country, including many legal immigrants. And then your counterclaim is, well, the issue with amnesty is then there'll be many bad criminals who come into the country and want it. No, because amnesty would have the same vetting processes as legal entry.
Yeah, but you do understand that if you're giving out such a good offer like that, a lot of people are going to be attracted here. And some of those people, a lot of those people are not honest people. And we clearly see it. Do you not understand that? I mean, it's bound to happen,
Well,
right?
I want you to listen to what I'm saying. The reason why
No,
they'd be
I know what you're
attracted to
saying, but can you
amnesty for
acknowledge?
undocumented immigrants compared to legal entry is because they wouldn't qualify for the legal entry because they're bad people with crimes on their records that wouldn't pass the vetting process. But what I'm saying is that the amnesty process would have the same vetting process instilled in it as the legal means of entry. So if they would be unattracted to legal entry because they're bad people and they'd be vetted out, well, they would also be vetted out by mass amnesty.
Okay, so during the Biden and Harris administration, people were just getting let in, though. Okay,
So
I
now,
mean, let me use
now
it.
you're,
Can I use a
so
real world
that's
example?
not
A real
necessarily
world
true. Listen,
example?
you're just claiming that the Biden-Harris administration opened the borders and let all these undocumented immigrants flood into America. Okay, well, not only is that claim false, but it is a complete pivot away from the claim that Donald Trump's mass deportation is bad. And the reason why it's bad is because deportation only hurts our country, and we have more preferable alternatives like mass amnesty for all the reasons that I just described. You are completely pivoting and absolutely changing the topic of discourse. Like this is imagine that we were debating abortion, and then the next thing that you say is, well, actually the CIA was justified in Operation Ajax in Iran in 1953. Like, what the fuck does Operation Ajax have to do with
No, the
if
reason why I brought
elective
it up.
abortion should be legal? Like, ultimately, the claim that the Biden-Harris administration let undocumented immigrants into the country, although it exists under the same umbrella of immigration argumentation, is still yet completely separate and distinct from the position that Donald Trump's mass deportation is bad because it hurts this country, and there's more preferable alternatives that make it better, like amnesty. So stop pivoting and respond to the argument that I gave you.
No, I'm
that
not.
once again, Donald Trump's mass deportation is bad because it only hurts our country, and there's more preferable
The
alternatives
reason
such as mass amnesty.
the reason why I brought that up is because you were bringing up that point where you're saying that the mass amnesty, whatever that is, I'm sure that's used by left leaning liberals, right? Especially the Democratic Party. That's their plan, is it? So if that was being used, that's why I brought up the Biden Harris administration. If it was being used then, why were there so many not so
Okay,
honest people being let in?
show me Biden's process of amnesty. I'd love to see it.
You're the one bringing it up, so I'm
No,
questioning
you
you
just
on it.
made the claim that the Biden-Harris
You're
administration
the
did
one who
amnesty.
brought it up. You're
I'm the
who
one that brought
dude.
up mass amnesty. Then you're the one that made the specific claim that the Biden-Harris
I
administration
was
did mass amnesty
asking
and
you.
it
I'm
failed.
not bringing it up. I'm asking you about it. I'm clearly
Okay,
asking you a question.
so are you as a question, Dean? Did the Biden-Harris administration do mass amnesty for undocumented immigrants? Is that the
Yes,
question?
and if and
Okay,
if so,
the
why
answer
were
to your
so many
question is
not
no.
so honest people
Your
being
answer
let
to
in?
the answer to your question is no. They couldn't get it done with the split in Congress with Republicans. In fact, there was a bill proposed for some sense of amnesty, but it got shut down because we couldn't get it past the filibuster. So no.
Okay, you could have just said that. Then that's a very honest answer. I understand now. You could have just said that. You were running in circles when I asked a simple question. If you would have just said that, I would understand why.
You didn't ask the question.
I
Did
literally
the
tried
Biden
to
Harris
ask, but you said
administration
I was
do
pivoting.
amnesty? You asked the question. Well, I would assume that they did amnesty. So why were there still a bunch of bad people coming in the country?
Yeah, I said, yeah, of course I'm going to assume because I'm trying to ask you, did they or
So
did
then you
they
admit
not?
that wasn't
But
the question that you
you just
asked
got
me.
offended for no reason.
I'm not getting offended.
Okay,
I'm
well, you
correcting
answered
you
the
because you're
question.
wrong. The question that you asked me was not, did the Biden Harris administration do mass amnesty? But rather, the question you asked, pre-assume that they did amnesty, pre-assume that the amnesty failed, pre-assume that they let a bunch of bad people in, and then it was, why did they let bad people in? Listen, I'm not getting outraged or, I'm not getting cortisol max simply because you're asking a question, but I'm rather just simply pointing out that the question that you asked wasn't the one in which you're saying you asked, but it rather was a question in which hinged on four absolutely insane pre-assumptions and was not as you framed it. So can you concede that you did not ask the question, did the Biden-Harris administration do mass amnesty?
Nah, I did. I mean, it didn't come across to you, so I probably didn't ask the question correctly, but that's what I was trying to get at.
Okay, so yeah, once again, I answered that. So what's next?
Okay. Yeah. All right, well, we can move on. You want to debate abortion now?
Why do you want to move on? Why can't you concede or give a counter argument to the fact that Donald Trump's mass deportation is bad for
No,
our country?
I don't have an argument. If you're saying that the Harris and Biden administration didn't use that tactic, then that's it. That's the end of the conversation.
So you accept that as it stands, Trump's mass deportation is bad.
I would have, yeah, because if you're saying what you're saying is what they tried to pass it, but the Republicans didn't pass it, then I
Which,
can't.
by the way, ultimately
I can't
has
judge it.
nothing to do with why Donald Trump's mass deportation is bad.
No, the reason why I'm saying it's bad is because if they were to pass it and Biden and Harris administration would have showed how the tactic that they were trying to use, if it would have proved successful, then I would say it's better. But I haven't seen it with my own eyes, so how am I going to say it's better?
Okay.
But
Well, you just
as
said
of
if it
right
proves
now,
successsul. You just said that it proves
if it proves
successful.
successful.
Okay. So
If it
you
proves
think
successful.
that policy is good given that it proves to be successful. But earlier when I asked you to name one material positive outcome of Donald Trump's mass deportation to date, you said that you couldn't. So therefore, in accordance with your own standard, Trump's mass deportation has not proved to be successful. Therefore, you don't think it's good.
Yeah, I never said it was good though. That's the thing.
That is ultimately and
I just
absolutely
said I
implied
just said
by
I
the
felt
fact that this is
no.
the argument that you're giving me insofar as why you support Trump. Like, of course you're arguing that Trump's mass deportation is good when you're saying that you support Trump because of his mass deportation. Because if you rather accepted that it's like neutral or bad, well, then you would be supporting Donald Trump for no reason, i.e. policy that's neutral and doesn't have any impact, or you'd be supporting Trump for bad reason, i.e. policy that's bad and has a negative impact. No, clearly the suggestion is that you think it's good because that's the reason why you support Trump.
Dean, bro, I have an aneurysm listening to you. Can you go like at least a few sentences at a time? Okay, look, I said I clearly agree with you. I said it before. I agree with you halfway through, but we're kind of clashing heads because I'm saying we shouldn't be giving so much leniency to these immigrants, and you're saying yes, we should because they benefit our country. So okay, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, can we talk about abortion? That's
Okay,
where we're
so you
clashing heads.
completely
You want to
concede
give
that last
leniency to
position.
the immigrants, and I don't. So
Why would you want to remove them all if it only hurts us?
I don't want to remove them all. So you're putting words in my mouth. I never said that. Not a single time.
I mean, you just equivocated between letting them stay here.
No,
i.e.
you
giving
can't
them
just
amnesty
say
and
I
giving them
equivocated
leniency.
something. You're summarizing.
You are
That's just
equivocating.
putting words into my mouth.
You just said, Dean, you want to give them leniency because you're arguing that they should have a pathway to residency or citizenship, and I'm saying I don't want to give them leniency. So if me saying that they should stay here is leniency, which is, the claim that you made, and then you made the secondary claim that you don't want to give them leniency, well, then it yields a necessary conclusion that you don't want them to stay here. Dude, why is this guy so fucking slimy? I'm just so confused. Like you're just saying explicitly, right, that you don't want immigrants to stay here, that you disagree with me, that we have a division in our
Dean.
thought.
That's the problem.
But yet
You're
at the
summarizing
same
it, Dean.
time, you do agree with me that you're not saying you want them to be removed. Your argument doesn't make sense.
Okay, that's fine. But we can agree to disagree. Can we move on now?
Well, if we're agreeing to disagree, that means that you disagree with the notion that they should stay here. Therefore, you agree with his suggestion that they should be deported.
They should
Right?
stay here if they're honest people.
Well, then we're not disagreeing.
I mean, but it's not. But the problem is, it's not that simple, though. It really isn't. I
Can
said
you
it
can
before.
you
I said it
clar-
earlier.
Can you clarify
Okay, look.
specifically
You want
what
to
we
see my
disagree
stance?
on? No. Can you
I'll tell you my.
clarify? No. I don't want to know your stance. I want you to clarify specifically on what we're disagreeing on.
Well, first I have to get my stance through to see what you disagree with me on, because I'm not
No,
understanding.
no, 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 no. You made the claim, quote unquote, Dean, we will agree to disagree. That preassumes that we disagree. So clarify what we disagree on.
We shouldn't be giving too much leniency to all of them. You're trying to give leniency to all of them.
Specifically how? Like what words came out of my
because
mouth
you're
that you
because you're if
disagree
you're
with?
coming because if you're coming across any illegal, you're just gonna let them stay. Like, let's say you were president, you were somehow in charge fully of everything. If you came across any illegal, you would let them stay.
Okay,
Like,
so you think that I believe that every single undocumented immigrant in the country should stay in the country. So that's not true. I don't think
that you're
that every
summarizing it
single
like that, though,
undocumented
Dean. You gotta
entry should
understand
stay in the
that.
country. I specifically think that undocumented immigrants with bad crimes on their record should be thrown in the jail or removed from the country. Now, with that clarification in mind, what do we disagree on?
I agree with you then.
Okay, so then we don't disagree. So then you don't
Okay.
support Donald Trump's mass deportation. So you
Yeah,
concede
I guess
that you
so.
support Donald Trump because of his immigration policy.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I said it in the beginning. It was just propaganda, but I also, you know, you kind of confused me when you summarize this, seeming like you were going to give leniency to all of them. But we can agree that not all of them are honest people and they shouldn't belong in this country.
Okay, all right. So then you don't support Trump because of his immigration policy. So
Yeah.
are you still a Trump supporter because of abortion?
Well, that was one of the reasons why. I mean, mainly not just him, but Republican wise, yeah.
Okay, so
Like,
if
do
the
you,
election after that conversation about immigration policy, if the election was held tomorrow between Trump and Harris, who'd you vote for?
I don't think Harris is the better option. You have to prove to me how Harris is the better option.
Could you
She
just tell me who
supports
you'd vote
abortion.
for?
Probably. I wouldn't vote at all. But I mean, I would be more leaning to.
All right. Well, we're looking for people who'd answer Trump to that question. Thank you for coming up and having a dialogue. That was pretty atrocious, low key. But I'm happy that we could change your mind on Trump's immigration policy. Only op inside of that queue, if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president, please and thank you. Over on Super Chat, thank you for the $50 boop. That is BOOP. Let's get 500 boop W's down below in that chat. Thank you so much for that love and support. You are awesome. Genuinely, thank you so very much for that love. Boop with the $50 says green card takes 5 years to be able to apply for citizenship. 2, if marriage based. Dad has been waiting 5 years for his family based green card and still nothing. My uncle, U.S. citizen, petition for him. Plus, you got to think of prices. The system is just simply so terrible, and the process takes so long. And that's why I actually think that our government is to blame in part for undocumented entry into this country, because the legal means of entry are terrible. Thank you so much for the $50 boop. Let's get 500 boop W's down below. That is so very kind of you. And then Nicholas with a 10 who says, you have the patience of 1,000-year-old Jedi with these pudding brain cult members. Very impressive. Thank you so much, Nicholas. Show some love to Nicholas. Over on Vimeo, Patty, that is P-A-T-T-I. Thank you for the $25 who says, so happy to see you again. Keep up the great work. I love how you hit nerves on his supporters. Colts are very hard to break. I hope that this makes more of them think and maybe break from the Orange Menace. Yeah, inevitably, the goal of the live streams is to get more people to stop supporting Trump. I think that sometimes we're effective in that, but I appreciate you for that love, Patty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Same thing to you, Courtney. Thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate you so much. And then Patsy, thank you so much for the $30 donation, who says, hey, Dean, welcome back. Happy to be here, Patsy, and good to see you. I hope that you're doing all right. Thank you so much for being here. Please show some love to Patsy down below in that comment section, everybody. Thank you so much for the $30. Show some love to Patsy down below, folks. Payson, thank you for the $3. Caitlin, thank you for the $15. She says, hey, Dean, today's my 24th birthday. Could I please get a birthday shout out? Happy birthday, Caitlin. I hope that you've had a great 24th birthday and you've lived it up. That is super exciting. And thank you so much. I appreciate you. And then Evan, thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal. He says, get yourself something nice. I appreciate you, Evan. Let's get 200 Evan W's. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then Amy, I appreciate y'all for the 3. Listen, if you're watching the stream, you want to support me, you want to support the stream, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree, my bio on TikTok, pin message on that other place. And the at's right there. Dean Withers without the E in Withers. Just make sure to quadruple check your spelling if you use the at compared to the link in the bio, because there's a bunch of fake Dean Withers accounts out there in Venmo and PayPal. Welcome in, little bro. Are you still a Trump supporter?
Always and forever.
Okay. What's one macroeconomic indicator that's better off today than it was
Oh
a year and a half
gosh,
ago?
here we go, dude. You have to start it off dishonest, Dean. Can we go back to your dishonest immigration arguments? Because they're just you
Can you
forgot one
explain to me how
major
that
thing with
question was
all of them.
dishonest?
Because you're trying to get back into this dumb stuff, Dean. Can we just talk about immigration real quick?
Whoa, no, I want you to answer my question. So the question that I asked was, what is one macroeconomic indicator that's better off today under Trump than it was a year and a half ago under Biden? You said that the question is dishonest, and then I asked you why it's dishonest, and you said it's dishonest because it's dumb. So I guess that'd lead me to the next question. Well, why is it dumb? Like, I think that the economy is important. Me asking you a question about how Donald Trump has made the health of the economy better is like clearly not dumb, clearly not dishonest, and clearly meaningful towards political discourse. So once again, either explain to me why it's dumb to ask you about the health of the economy under Trump, or just answer the question, what's one macroeconomic indicator that's better off today than it was a year and a half ago under Biden?
Well, we had this conversation last time, and you just kept interrupting me and then telling me that tax cuts aren't a micro economic factor. And I mean, you just you don't ever want to be honest with me. I'm coming up here trying to get a fair debate, a fair conversation, and that's all I want.
Yeah. So you're saying that like maybe like I lie to you. So questions can't be lies because questions can't be true or false. And only propositions that can be true or false could possibly be lies because a lie is intentionally saying something that's false. So you just committed a category error by suggesting that I'm lying to you by asking a question. So now that we know your argument doesn't follow that the question is dumb and dishonest because it's a lie, because it can't be a lie because of the question, go ahead and answer the question. What's one macroeconomic indicator that's better off today than it was a year and a half ago?
So I absolutely will answer this, Dean, but I just want to say one thing. Everybody else that has came up, you've given them the chance of why they support Donald Trump. And that's the first question. As soon as I come up, you start asking me about this specific question because you're trying to just lay traps. So how about we just start this conversation over and I can tell you why I support Donald Trump?
No, I asked this question a lot. I ask this question a lot.
Specifically to me, Dean.
Around like 50% of the time when I'll have a guest join the live stream, the very first question is,
Are you scared to
what's
debate
one
me on
macroeconomic
anything
indicator
else?
that's better off today?
Are you scared to debate me on anything else, Dean?
No? Are you scared to answer my question?
No, I mean I've had this conversation
Then
with you
answer the
last time. I don't
question.
see why we have to go in circles. Tax cuts,
Because
Dean.
you were just trying to argue that I'm like scared to debate you on anything else because I want you to answer my question. Therefore, you're scared to answer my question because
I'm not, Dean.
you
I
want to
answered it
debate
last
me on
time.
something else.
I just said tax cuts, Dean.
Okay. So tax cuts are not a macroeconomic indicator. The reason why I say that is clear. A macroeconomic indicator is something that generally dictates the function and the health of the economy as a whole on a macro level. Of course, now tax cuts can influence those things. Like for instance, when you like cut somebody's taxes, they're gonna have like more money to spend, so they may spend more money, meaning that GDP growth will go up. But ultimately, the macroeconomic indicator would be the GDP growth going up, not the tax cuts.
Okay,
Because
Dean,
tax
so,
cuts are tax policy. Tax policy aren't macroeconomic indicators. Tax policy just influences macroeconomic indicators.
okay, so are tax cuts bad, Dean?
Well, we could have a conversation about tax cuts once you answer my
So
question.
are tax cuts bad? Yes or no?
Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. It depends on when you're cutting taxes and who you're cutting taxes for and various other factors such as wealth inequality, so on and so forth. But what's an answer to my question now that you understand that tax policy or economic policy such as tax cuts are not a macroeconomic indicator, but rather can influence macroeconomic indicators? What's one macroeconomic indicator that's better off today than it was a year and a half ago?
Specifically, a year and a half ago, one thing that I would say is right before the Iran war, inflation was going down. Inflation, and not only that, but the GDP has still been growing at a large rate.
Yeah.
We've broken record after record in the stock market. There's been a lot of things, Dean.
Okay. Let me chew my eyes so I'll respond. Okay, inflation, GDP, and stock market. Sure. First claim about inflation. Fact check. Under Biden in 2025, inflation was 3%. Today, it's 3.8% annualized by the feds.
I said
Your second
before the
claim-
war, Dean. Before the war. That is what I specifically said.
Okay, so then you didn't
before
answer the
war,
question.
it was not 3%.
So then you didn't
It was
answer the
at
question.
1%.
So then
It
you
was at
didn't
one-
answer the question. Well,
it
that's
was
also
at
not true.
1%,
Well,
Dean.
that's not true, but you also didn't
It was
answer the
around
question.
1%,
Because I'll
Dean.
go ahead and repeat the question. The question was, what is one macroeconomic indicator that's better off today than it was a year and a half ago? Not what was one macroeconomic indicator that's better off 6 weeks ago than it was a year and a half ago. So, fact check, incorrect.
no.
You're not answering the question.
Once
Then
again,
your
you're-
second claim was about GDP growth. Fact check, GDP growth was actually a percentage higher in 2024 under Biden than it was in Donald Trump in 2025. And then your third claim was about the stock market. Fact check, the stock market is not a macroeconomic indicator because only around 9% of Americans invest in the stock market. But even if it was a macroeconomic indicator, well, it still wouldn't be better off. The S&P 500 grew by 23 or 24% in 2024 under Biden, yet it only grew by around 14 to 17% under 2025 under Trump. So you're wrong on all three bases, buddy. Try again. I'll ask you the question again.
Once again,
what is
Dean.
one macroeconomic
Once
indicator that's
again,
better
Dean,
off
this is what
today than it was a year and a half ago under Biden?
Once again, Dean, you don't actually want to have a debate. You sit here and you just say, not true, not true, not true. You said, name one economic policy today, right, that was better. And I gave you some, right? The fact is that Joe Biden, the reason why you're bringing up 2024 and 2025 late 2024 and late 2025.
Fact check. I didn't ask you to name one economic policy that's better off today. I asked you to name one macroeconomic indicator that's better off today.
This just shows how much of how scared you are, dude. This is exactly why you can't debate in person without that actual mute button.
Fact check. I just got back from LA where I filmed another 1v20 in person,
Jubilee
yesterday.
Jubilee, where their viewers are declining. A liberal debate thing. Right? You won't debate Andrew Wilson.
I debated
you
20 people in person.
One time you debated Nick Fuentes, you lost. You got ate up by Nick Fuentes. You literally said
Nick
that you
Fuentes
empathize with the receiving end.
check. Nick Fuentes conceded to me, and your only argument against me is to make some joke about me saying that I empathize with the receiving end of the oppression that gay people feel by then saying, oh, so Dean, you empathize into the receiving end, fuck, you got me, okay? Yeah, I was rhetorically, I was very clearly rhetorically not advantageous with the way that I worded my statement. But that's not a counter argument to the substance of any argument I gave in the debate. Listen, you're crashing out because you still have failed to answer the question, and I quote, what is one macroeconomic indicator that's better off today than it was a year and a half ago under Biden?
Dean, I'm just going to say this real quick. You keep muting me and you keep on cutting me off. It just shows that you're insecure about your debate style.
Okay. So what's one macroeconomic indicator that's better off today than it was a year and a half ago under Biden?
One macroeconomic indicator is the fact that the people of the United States voted for people to be deported and less immigration. That's one thing that you keep on talking about, that you don't, it's good for my GDP. But the fact is that you don't respect democracy because the vast majority of Americans voted for immigration and voted for these people to get taken out of our country. They didn't vote for people to flood our country by the millions. And you say that Joe Biden didn't let them in. Can you name me one other time in all of history where 10 million people came through somewhere that they weren't just let in? If they weren't let in, how did 10 million people get through the border?
After you answer the question of what is
just
one
ignore that. Hey, Dean, you have a good one
that's better off today than it was a year and a half ago. Because fact check, immigration policy is not a macroeconomic indicator. Can immigration policy influence macroeconomic indicators? Sure. But is immigration policy a macroeconomic indicator? No. And feel free to leave because you can't name a macroeconomic indicator.
No, it's fine. Just a mute, and you won't actually debate me.
I muted you because you interrupted me.
No, because you disagree with democracy. You disagree with the people. You disagree with the process of what.
So is that a macroeconomic indicator that's better off today than it was a year and a half ago?
You know what a macroeconomic indicator is?
Wait. Is Dean, quote unquote, disagreeing with democracy a macroeconomic indicator that was better off today than it was a year and a half ago?
I'll name one.
Then do it.
The fact that
I'll name one. So the fact that California cut off their Medi-Cal for new undocumented immigrants and they finally were able to balance their budget, that's an indicator at the fact that they're actually going to succeed, that they're not funding these illegal immigrants in the state of California where they have the largest GDP in the whole entire country as far as a state. They're the fourth largest in the world, right? So the fact that they cut off Medi-Cal for illegal immigrants.
Fact check. You're giving me a microeconomic indicator. So a macroeconomic indicator would be an indicator of the health of the economy at large, like nationwide debt, nationwide deficit, nationwide balance. But
you didn't specify that.
I did because I said macroeconomic indicator.
Okay, well, let me give you another one then. Let me give you one then. Okay, so another one is the fact that. So another one is the fact that the New York mayor. Mondami had to borrow like what was it, $8 billion to get New York's budget deficit down to zero, right? Because he couldn't do it himself, so he had to borrow the money from the state and then go saying, "Oh, we balanced a budget." No, they didn't. They just borrowed more money. Right.
Okay. Well, then this would actually.
The state of New York had to come bail him out from his failed progressive policies because progressives just suck at everything. Look at the Prime Minister of Canada, for example. They're going through a recession. This guy was you guys were sitting there gloating. Oh, progressive. He's going to own Donald Trump. He's going through a recession right now. Third quarter where their GDP has gone down. Right. It's blown to a raging stop, and they're doing horrible. They're asking Daddy Trump for some money. Right, and they're asking Daddy Trump for some help. Not only that, but he sat there in New York City the other day, sitting there talking about how great America was and how awesome everything in America is, trying to suck up to us so we bail Canada out. Once again, not only that, but their car industry has completely crashed because of our tariffs. They need to get in line. They tried to go to China for help. But you see, that's the thing about progressives is they talk a big game, but they always suck. Just like Gavin Newsom, Mondami, and all these other progressives all around the country. If you want to look at a real positive economics, you look at Florida, you look at Texas, places that actually know what the hell they're doing. They're actually talking about getting rid of property taxes in the state of Florida because we're doing so well. Not only that, but California, they're increasing taxes. A mileage tax? What is that? That means that you get taxed on every mile that you drive. Dean, you have a good one. It was nice owning you.
Oh, yeah, you're going to leave. I know you're going to leave. Fact check. You claim that that Mom Donnie didn't balance the budget in New York City. Well, if that was true, okay, well, that would actually be an economic indicator that's gotten worse. But even if it was a macroeconomic indicator that got better, well, it wouldn't be macroeconomic. It'd be microeconomic because it's representative of one city. And then the second claim that you made is that Canada's been worse off. So the question was, what's one macroeconomic indicator that's better off today in America than it was a year and a half ago? Not one macroeconomic indicator that's worse off today than it was a year and a half ago in another country. And then your third claim was that progressive policies suck. Okay, well, if progressive policies suck so much, then you would have ran from the progressive. If progressive policies sucked so much, were absolutely atrocious, or completely terrible, then you would not have ran away from the progressive arguing policies. Like you would have. Oh God, guys, honestly, I love shit on that guy. It's always fun. I enjoy it. Admittedly, I enjoy it. The reason why I keep on bringing that guy back up on in is because it's just so fun to slam dunk him. Let's go to get that next Trump supporter connected to the live stream. Only hop inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Oh, guys, he's doing the thing. He's doing the thing, guys. He's back. He's doing it again.
It's too easy to get back up here. You get cringe, bro. I'm out of here again. I'm out.
You're leaving again?
To get back up here. You're cringe.
Feel free to run.
You can't stand the fact that I own you with these facts, so you let me back up here. That's the only reason you let me back up here.
To embarrass yourself because you still haven't been able to answer the question of what's one macroeconomic indicator that's better off today than it was a year and a half ago. You just whined about Democrats. Dude, answer the question. He can't say a word. Dude, he finished reading all of his note cards about New York City, Newsom, and Canada.
I don't have no cards.
And he just can't answer the question. What is one macroeconomic indicator that's better off today than it was a year and a half ago under Biden? What's one?
It's
Nothing
too easy to get
say?
up here, man. It's too easy to get up here.
Is it
I live
really
in your
hard
head,
to
dude.
answer my
I
question?
live in your
though?
head. I live in your head.
Is that a macroeconomic indicator?
Do you have empathy for people?
Do you have a macroeconomic indicator?
Do you empathize with MAGA?
Do you empathize with answering the question?
Do you empathize with MAGA?
Do you empathize with answering the question of what's
Do you
one
empathize with
macroeconomic
MAGA,
indicator that's better off today than it was a year and a half
Do you
ago?
empathize with MAGA?
Do you empathize with answering the question? Do you empathize with having a brain? No? Bro. Dude, honestly, if I was you, I'd just leave again. Just call it a day, bro.
Hey, why won't you debate?
Why won't you
Andrew
answer
Wilson?
the question of what's
Why
one
won't you debate
macroeconomic
Andrew Wilson
indicator
in
that's better
person?
off today? Why won't you answer the question of what's one macroeconomic indicator that's better off today?
Why do you only go on Jubilee?
Why
can't
do you only
debate-
choose to like make new claims instead of
Why'd you
answering the
chicken
question
out
that
at
I've been
Tim
asking for
Pool?
Why are you chickening out of answering
Why'd
the
you
question?
chicken out at Tim Pool?
Why are you chickening out of answering the question?
Hey, can you
Hey,
put a blindfold
Can
on
you
while
please,
I debate you?
could you please
Can you put a blindfold
Adam,
on real
could you
quick
please
while I
put a
debate
brain
you?
in your head to answer the question?
I'll debate you if you put a blindfold on.
I'll
So that way I know
put a
you're not
blindfold
looking at
on
your
if you
screen.
answer the question.
I know you're not looking at your screen.
And I know you're not answering the question.
Come on, put a blindfold on.
Come on, answer the question.
All right, Dean. You know what? I'm gonna just do this just for you. None, Dean. There is none. Everything's just horrible. It's all going to crap, Dean. We're living in a fallen economic world, Dean. Everything's just so bad. You know, last week I went to Disney and there was so many people there because it's just so horrible. Everybody's doing so bad, Dean. You know, everybody's just, you know, we don't know what to do. So, you know, we go to Disney because everybody's just financially ruined. You know, that's what people that go to Disney do, Dean.
Okay, so that was a non-serious satirical answer, meaning that you do think that there's one macroeconomic indicator.
No,
that's better off
no.
today
That
than
was
it
me
a year
being
and a half
honest,
ago.
Dean. I was just, you know,
No,
me
I have
being
a brain.
honest.
Okay, so then what macroeconomic indicator that is better off today than it was a year and a half
I
ago?
already told you, Dean. There isn't any.
Okay,
Everybody's doing
so
sucky.
if there's no macroeconomic indicators that are better off
I
today,
think
and the
I think the
economy's down the
GDP
drain,
is like at
so then you
zero
should
right
stop
now, right?
supporting Trump.
Isn't it? No. Because it's not all about GDP.
It's not all about
Dean.
economic. Well, GDP growth isn't the only macroeconomic indicator.
It's not all about GDP, Dean.
Well, GDP growth isn't the only macroeconomic indicator.
It's not all about. It's not all about.
That's not the
economy,
only.
Dean.
It's not all about the economy. Then what is it?
It's not
about?
all about the economy, Dean.
Then
That's
what
what
is it
Biden
about?
said.
Then
That's
what
what
is it
Biden
about?
used to say.
That's what you're saying because you can't.
That's
name a
what
single
Biden used to say.
That's what you're saying.
When inflation was at 9.1%.
Well, that's what you're saying because you can't name a singular macroeconomic indicator that's better off today than it was a year and a half ago.
All right, Dean. That's cool. That's nice. You know, I agree with you, dude.
So is your
Everything's just- I think that-
position? Is your position?
I think everything
quote,
is
unquote,
like
it's not about the
redline
economy?
right now. Everything is like.
Then what is it about?
pass.
Then what
Huh?
is it about? If it's not about the economy for you, then what is it about?
It's about Executive Order 14187. That's what it's about right there, Dean.
What did that EO do?
You just look at your little Discord group. They'll tell
I'll
you.
just have you.
They already
explain
got it pulled up.
I'll just have you explain it to me, please.
It stop government funding for children that are being chemically castrated with drugs like Lupron and all kinds of other stuff given out at, say, places like Planned Parenthood that are giving these kids harmful drugs that they actually give to people who are convicted of sexual predator crimes to make sure that they chemically castrate. These are the same drugs that they're giving these children, Dean. So I think that's a good thing that the government's not paying for that.
Okay. Well, so yeah, you are right. Lupron is used to chemically castrate sexual predators, just at significantly higher levels. I mean, you take really anything at a very high level, and it's going to hurt you. Like, for instance, kids should drink water, but if you drink too much water, you'll just like explode and die, right, from overconsumption of water.
Can you show me one person that's done that? Can you show me one person that's
kids should like take like children's Advil. Okay,
you made a statement. Can you prove that statement?
Kids should take children's Advil when they have a really bad headache. But when you take too much Advil, you just like OD and die. And yeah, just look up water intoxication. But listen, what I want to know is how many children have received Lupron funded by the government in, let's just say, the calendar year of 2025. So then we know exactly how many children we're saving by destroying the economy.
I mean, I can imagine it's probably in the thousands, Dean, at least.
Can I get a source for that?
Can I get a source for you saying that people explode when they drink too much water?
Not literally explode, but they do die. It's called water intoxication. You can look it up.
Okay, so how do
what's
those
the source
people
for your
actually
claim?
die? Like, what about the water causes you to die, Dean?
Your body just simply has too much of it.
Y-
And
so-
it
so-
can't.
Can you explain,
It can't
like,
remove
you're-
the water.
That was a
fast enough.
circular argument, Dean. Can you show me like some source of like how people die from water intoxication? Are they
Sure.
are they retaining too much water? Do they not pee the water
So
out? Like,
let's see.
what's
Water
going on?
poisoning, clinically known as water intoxication, occurs when the consumption of excessive amounts of water in a short period overwhelms the kidney's ability to excrete it. This rapid intake leads to a critical dilution of sodium in the bloodstream, an electrolyte essential for maintaining fluid balance and nerve function. When the sodium levels drop too low, water moves from the blood into the body cells through osmosis, causing them to swell. The cellular swelling is partially dangerous to the brain because the skull is too rigid and cannot expand to accommodate the increased volume. This condition, called cerebral edema, increases in transial pressure and can lead to severe neurological symptoms, including confusion, seizures, loss of consciousness, and death. Without immediate medical intervention, the psychological strain on the central nervous system can result in death.
Okay, so you said that people explode from this.
Well, apparently, the brains explode, right? But
No,
when I use the word
no.
explode there, that was clearly me being hyperbolic. The point is that they
So
die.
you just drink too much water without actually enough electrolytes to where your kidneys can't process it, right? How many people do you think on average do this, Dean? How many reported deaths a year are there?
Sure, yeah, I'll answer yours
From
after you
this.
answer mine, because I asked you specifically for a source for like how many children took Lupron as funded by the government in the calendar year of 2025, and you said, sure, Dean, I'll answer your question after you answer mine. How does water intoxication kill people? So then I gave you an explanation, okay, of how water intoxication kills people. So I would now appreciate you to do the same thing for your claim about quote unquote thousands of kids getting government funded Lupron. So your turn. Go ahead and provide the source.
Okay, so my source, right? Because there's different types of evidences, Dean. Do you know that? What kind of evidences are there? What types of evidence are there?
There's
like in a
empirical
court.
evidence and there's rational evidence.
No, there's circumstantial evidence and there's also physical evidence, right?
So circumstantial evidence and physical evidence would be categorized under the main umbrella of empirical evidence. Ultimately, all evidence falls under the two umbrellas of empirical or rational. But listen, I'm just asking you for any evidence. So, what's the source, please? That,
Okay, so
thousands
if
of
you
kids
go-
received Lupron through
so-
government funding.
So first off, they wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't the case for that. Not only that, but let me just show you the fact that Planned Parenthood has on their own website the fact that they give Lupron to children for to underage people as a puberty blocker, right? So Planned Parenthood, it really wouldn't be a good investment if there wasn't a lot of people doing it. So I'm going to guess at least thousands of people.
You said that they're not making that investment. The government's just giving them the money. You said previously the government funded it.
I didn't say they funded Planned Parenthood.
Okay, so then you're not giving me
I'm-
evidence for
well,
the claim that
no.
you made that the government
I'm-
funded like thousands of kids getting Lupron. Also, so you're just guessing?
No. That's not
Well,
what I'm
you
doing.
said, and
I'm
I quote,
giving
I
you-
would guess there'd be thousands of kids.
Okay, yeah, I would. Yeah, absolutely.
So it is-
I would.
so you're
I
just
would
guessing.
assume. I would assume if a company.
So you're assuming.
offered.
So I just want to
So
clarify,
can I
you're
finish?
assuming?
Absolutely, Dean. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
any rational person would assume that they. By the mere fact that so if you go to McDonald's and you order a McChicken, right, off the menu, would you assume, Dean, would it be rational to assume the fact that, hey, maybe they sell a bunch of these, that's why it's on the menu, right? People would keep stuff on the menu if people were buying said thing, using said thing. They're not going to keep stuff on the menu that's not selling, right, Dean? That would be rational, right? Any reasonable person would think that, right?
Not necessarily. Some companies like sell products, goods, or services, in which are like incredibly niche. Like, I mean, you could like find eBay companies that will sell 1991 special edition Tony Hawk Tech Decks. Okay, but they're not like selling thousands of those a year. They might sell like
Okay,
5.
so
just
my-
because
my-
the service is
my
offered
analogy-
doesn't mean that
my
that
ma-
service is received by like millions of people. So
my
once
analogy-
again, I'd love for you to provide me a source specifically that thousands of kids are getting this as funded by the government. Not to mention that there's actually other things that like Lupron could be used for. Like for instance, some forms of cancer treatment would involve the use of.
That's not what they're using it for. They're not. They're
and that's
not,
what I'm
they're
asking you
not
for a source
cancer.
for. That's what I'm asking
so
you for a source for. Like specifically, I want a source that thousands of children received Lupron as funded by the government in 2025. Like also, right? Like what about like trans adults? What if trans adults want to get on Lupron as a form of hormone replacement therapy? So once again, that's why I'm asking you specifically for the source. Thousands of children received Lupron as funded by the government in 2025.
Dean, are you saying that these services are not offered?
I'm saying that so far you haven't provided me a source that thousands of children received. Okay, no, you're interrupting me. I'm being clear with my claim here. My claim is that you made the claim that thousands of children received Lupron, with the use of government funding in 2025. Then I asked you for your source for that claim, and then you provided the claim that, because they provide Lupron, that therefore thousands of children are receiving it. Any rational person would make this assumption. So you admitted that you were guessing. Well, then I gave you the example of how like some companies on eBay will sell 1991 special edition Tony Hawk Tech Decks, and they're not selling thousands of those a year. And then I went on to say, well, actually, Lupron could be used for other means, such as trans adults or cancer patients. So you have no basis for your assumption, and that's why I'm asking you for a source to prove your assumption to be the case. And in fact, what I direct you to do, dude, is just to like quickly go on pause, go to Google, look it up, provide me evidence, because you're drowning again right now the same way you were drowning for over 30 minutes failing to answer the question, what is one macroeconomic variable that is better off today than it was a year and a half ago? Lupron is also in some circumstances used in IVF, which would make sense why Planned Parenthood would.
Okay, Dean, I'll bet you $20 right now that
I don't want to make a bet. I just want to get a source.
No, Dean, because you just literally just butchered my entire argument, and I never claimed all those things. So first off, Dean, I said that I agree with it and I like that executive order, that the fact that we're not funding it. And then I gave you an example. Places, I didn't say that Planned Parenthood was getting funded. I didn't say that
so then Planned Parenthood wouldn't be affected.
Well, I'm giving you examples like of places that like to
but
give.
If they're not getting the government funding,
once
then
again,
they want to be affected because he goes specifically for taking back federal funding.
I didn't make that claim, Dean.
I just want your source. Thousands of kids received this treatment.
I gave an example of places.
Source your claim, bro. Source your claim.
So like
that's all I'm
Planned
asking
Parenthood
for. Source your claim. Source your claim that thousands of children receive Lupron in 2025.
Dude, I'm trying. You keep on doing this. As soon as I start trying to fucking
let's hear the source.
Rationalize what I said because you're misinterpreting it like hell.
Let's
right?
hear the source.
So are you saying, Dean, first off, let's establish a couple things.
Whoa. A question is not a source.
Once again, dude, you don't want to clarify the actual terms of this debate and what we're talking about. So do you doubt, I'm trying to sit here and understand what you're trying to argue right now. Do you sit here and deny that places do not give hormone blockers, which is they use Lupron for, specifically go on Planned Parenthood, they tell you that they use Lupron as hormone blockers for children. So
what I'm denying is that thousands of trans children receive Lupron in 2025.
And that's fine. You can deny it,
and that's why I'm asking you for a source.
And that's just my opinion. I already told you that was my opinion. That was just off the top of the head.
So then provide a source to prove it.
Okay, so Dean, just like I gave the argument, right? I didn't say this is for sure thousands of them. I told you I'm guessing.
Okay, so then stop guessing and go on Google and find a source to prove exactly how many.
I don't, Dean, I doubt that there's actual data on the fact that children are doing this.
If there's no data on it, then stop making baseless guesses.
Dean. Okay, so Dean, is there every single...
Oh my God, dude, what a fucking joke. Holy... All right, yeah. I'm gonna stop playing with my food. We're just gonna move on. Welcome in, Santana. How you doing?
I was literally just about to say you were playing with your food, like literally.
Dude.
Good, how are you?
Oh man, I'm really tired. I have had a very long 3 days. But I'm happy to be back. Welcome into Sport Trump. Okay, Dipade is not here. Hey, listen, by the way, for everybody that's hanging out with us in here tonight, I appreciate y'all for being here. Welcome into the late night with Dean. Steal it from Santana down there, late nights with Santana. Listen, folks, we haven't been live for the past 2 days because I've been out in LA filming for Jubilee. We went over this at the beginning of the live stream, but we have more people in here now, so I thought I'd say it again. I would assume that many of you guys first caught wind of me, who I am, because of the 1v20 Jubilee debate I did in 2024 against 20 Trump supporters. Folks, I've done it again. I've done it again. Yesterday, I filmed another 1v20. It was absolutely insane. I cannot share the specifics with you guys. Jubilee told me that they want y'all to be surprised, you know, when the episode drops. And I understand where they're coming from because you will be, for sure. It's going to be an insane watch. What I want to tell everybody right now before we hop into the next debate with some other Trump supporters, I think we have AD on our live stream. Hopefully they're MAGA. Is that it is the most exhausting thing I have ever done. It was ridiculous. By the time I was done filming this episode, I felt as if I was physically ill. Never in my life have I ever felt physically ill from talking to people. It was insanity. Genuinely an experience unlike any other that I've had in my life. I felt like I just ran a 10K when I left set. It was insanity. AD, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do support the politics side of what he's doing.
Yeah, are you an American?
No, I'm not. No, I am.
I appreciate you so much for coming up here, but we are just specifically looking to talk to Americans. Somebody in the chat asked when it's dropping. It's either going to be dropping end of July or end of June. So either way, we're going to wait a while. It's either going to be 1 month or 2 months.
They've been pushing them out pretty quickly. I'm surprised how quickly they've been doing them. So I wouldn't be shocked if it was end of June.
Yeah. By the way, your mic is a little bit low, Santana. But so it's slated for the end of July, but yeah. I'm doing my best. I'm pushing for Jubilee to try to get it out at the end of June, and I have some people internally on my side fighting that battle because I want y'all to see it. I want y'all to see it really badly. I don't know if I could wait 2 months. Yo, what's going on, Zay? Do you support Trump?
We are Dean Withers. We fight.
Dude, how do they get an account with 60,000 followers? What?
Really?
Yeah, dude.
I've noticed the trolls, they're getting so desperate that they're using their main accounts and stuff now. So it's scary hours.
Dude. Oh my God. I think that they just left the queue. I just saw the craziest profile picture of my life. Hey, by the way, guys, folks, if you want to support me, if you want to support the stream, if you want to allow me to be able to continue to have these debates for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week, go around the country, talk to people in real life as well. Feel free to support me. Feel free to support me on my Venmo and my PayPal. You can find them in the link tree in my bio on TikTok. Pin message on that other place in the ads right there. Dean Withers without the E in Withers. Great way to ask a question or to get a message across. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Dean, I spoke with you a few weeks back, and I actually had a great conversation with you as I have changed my mind when me and you spoke.
I love that.
But I
awesome.
had a lot of people after I had gotten off. I don't think they really listened to me and you because you definitely did. And I thanked you for your information, but they went to my comments on my videos and left some very hateful comments. And I know you have no control of that, but
listen, Richard, I appreciate you for coming up. I'm going to address that. I'm going to kick you just because we're explicitly looking for people to support
That's all
Trump.
I asked. Thank you again.
But I'll address that, man. Listen, at the end of the day, when we have a live stream with 10 to 20,000 people tuning in and out of it, there's just going to be some people in there who are willing to do things they probably shouldn't. I do disagree with viewers going to the account of any guest and spamming their comments or their DMs because not only can we sometimes get it wrong, if somebody changes their mind or maybe they have a family member on their mic, but also it just disincentivizes people from coming up. Shayla, welcome in. Do you support Trump? Okay, Shayla's not here. Something else that I wanted to add on was for the filming of the 1v20 that I did, I think I was a little bit more rude than maybe I usually am.
Really?
There's this one woman who I called a moron 3 times. And like they were getting even like the moderator of the episode was getting a little bit upset with me. So
I think
definitely
they're
different
leaning
energy.
into the shit, and so I get it. Sometimes it's hard, it's different than when you did the first one. So
yeah.
Hey,
Welcome in,
everybody.
Conservative Crusader. Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Cringe. Okay, give me one moment to thank a couple people. Dude, Mama,
Hey, thanks,
appreciate you
Mama,
for the
you-
$10 over on Super Chat. Who says Lupron is also used for other conditions, i.e., endometriosis, which is why Planned Parenthood offers it. Yup. Megan, thank you for the $10. Who says we appreciate your work against these fascists. I appreciate you for that love and support, Megan. You're the goat. Show some love to Megan for the 10. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for the $20. Who says I don't think that last guest could spell macroeconomic, much less name one indicator. Yeah, dude, he was a dummy. Let's just be honest, Elizabeth. Thank you for keeping it real. Let's get 200 Elizabeth W's in that chat. Lord T with the 10. He crashes out, leaves, comes back, and is saying that it's too easy to come back. We're go to bed and get ready for the GE test in the morning. I appreciate you for the $10. Megan, thank you for another $10 as well, saying that Fuentes won. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, I know that there's no fucking way. And then Megan with another $10 says that you're such an effective debater, Dean. Thank you, Megan. Then Mo with a 10 who says can't wait to watch you in the next Spider-Man movie, bro. Oh no, the Tom Holland allegations are coming back.
Sorry.
Nicholas, thank you for the $10. And then over on PayPal, thank you so much for the $10, Vanessa, who says, can you do a Texas edition live for James Tallarico? I've been thinking about it, Vanessa. I would love to talk to Texas voters about Ken Paxton and James Tallarico. Serena, thank you for the $10 as well. Who says, miss you. Hope you feel refreshed after spending some time at the beach and can't wait to see the Jubilee video. Honestly, I don't feel refreshed at all. Although I took 2 days off the live, I haven't taken a day off work, right? I've still been doing the debates. In fact, I feel very tired. Over on Venmo, thank you so much, Samantha, for the $20, who says, hey, Dean, I've been watching for a while and I was very happy to see that you're on live today. It's my 21st birthday and this is my best way to spend it. Happy 21st birthday, Samantha. That is huge. Oh my goodness. Please show some love to Samantha for her 21st birthday in that chat while we are hopping into this next debate. That is awesome. Congratulations. That is huge. And Jose, thank you for the $50 donation on Venmo, my man. Holy fuck, Jose. That is so much money. Thank you for the love and support. What a goat. Show some love to the goat Jose down below who says, for Dean, fact check. MAGA's micro mind cannot comprehend microeconomics, let alone macroeconomics. Fight on, Dean. Yeah, they definitely can't keep up with those conversations. Thank you for the $50. And then Vanessa and Peter, I appreciate y'all so much both for the $25. Thank you so much. Vanessa's just sitting on Trump supporters saying that they have no brains. And then Peter's calling the last guest a terrible debater. Based, super duper true. And then one last one here from Brianna. Thank you for the $15. Thank you so much, you guys. Once again, if you want to support me, if you want to support the live, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio and TikTok. Pin message on that other place, and the ads right there. Dean Withers without the Ian Withers. Go ahead and take it away, Mr. Conservative Crusader. Tell us why you support Trump.
Yeah, so I honestly support Trump because I'm also really passionate about but I think by far the best policy that he's had so far.
They're a troll.
yep.
They're a troll.
Yep.
Get out of here. We're going to go to get the next guest connected to the live stream right now on the opposite side of the queue if you're Maggie. Y'all already know it. Oh, man. I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight, dude. Holy.
Imagine traveling is rough, and then like talking to stupid people is rough too. So
Oh, in the bed at the Airbnb that I was staying in was so uncomfortable.
I hate that.
Yeah, I couldn't get a minute of rest. Honey left. Let's go to get the next guest, Caleb, connected to the live stream. You know, I've like started to stay like in B&Bs so I could hopefully get good Wi-Fi to do my streams. But I think I would just may go back to hotels because that's like the only reliable way to like know that you're gonna get a good mattress, know that you're gonna get some good pillows. Because usually like B&B owners kind of like cheap out on that. Because if it doesn't matter if they have a good mattress or a bad mattress. Like people are obviously still going to book their property because of like how the kitchen looks or you know, how the living room looks or like you know where it's at in the area. G4, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
And why do you support the worst president of your life? Yuck.
Well, the only reason why I support him is because of. And if I ever had to give him anything else, I'd probably
You're doing the same thing again.
Son of a
Well, it's one of the more pacifist trolls, I guess.
Yeah.
It's preferable to like fetuses coming up on the live and screaming. So.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, and I'll text you about this. I don't know what like hotel brand you use, but the brand that I use, usually you can secure like a good bed regardless and good Wi-Fi.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to check it out. Juju, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Oh yeah.
How old are you?
19.
Okay. What about UAD?
I was in here before, but I'm just hearing a lot of people being.
Hey yo, Dean, keep talking. I'm gooning.
Moving on to the next guest. Only hop inside of the queue if you're a Trump supporter, bro. What are we doing?
Listen, the nights have been brutal. Like, yeah. Like, I did a night live the other night, and it was just, like, batshit crazy.
Yeah, I never do the night lives. This is, like, this is pretty, like, atypical for me to be on at, like, 10 p.m.
Yo, hello?
What's up, Sam? Do you support Trump?
Holy shit, I'm actually honest. What the hell?
Yeah, you are. Are you MAGA?
Like, you said what?
Are you a Trump supporter?
Oh, no. I just want to talk to you and say what's up. I didn't expect you to.
I appreciate you, Sam. You're awesome. But listen, man, we are just looking for Trump supporters, so you have a good rest of your evening. For everybody tuning in, please do leave that queue unless you are an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. I'd really appreciate you so much if you could please follow the rules. Please and thank you. We're going to go and get that next guest connected to the live stream. Bro, dude, peep this BFB, Santana. Holy moly. Peep this profile picture.
Oh, that's enough to want the AI bubble to burst.
Yeah. Oh my God. Jesus Christ, man. We got Pascal loaded up into the box. Yo, over on Venmo, Alyssa, that is ALYSSA. Dude, thank you for the $50. And Mr. Phil, thank you for the $100. Oh my God. Y'all are insane in like the best way possible. That is literally so much money. I don't deserve a penny of that. Thank y'all for your generosity. Like seriously and genuinely. Holy crap. You guys are so fucking kind. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Phil with the $100 says, what does one egg plus 20 fine prints equal? Dave Rubin getting cooked at Jubilee. I'm sure that you cooked as much as Parker and Santana. Oh, they fried him. They fried him. Thank you so much for the $100. Phil says, keep on being true patriots. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Phil. Genuinely so kind. Welcome in, man. Give me one moment. Let's get 1,000 Phil W's for the $100. Genuinely insane. Thank you, man. And then listen with the 50 says, hey, Dean, I know it's been a minute. I just want to support your stream again. Well, thank you for the love. I can't wait for the Jubilee love you do. Well, thank you, Alyssa. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, Phil. Show some love to the goats, Alyssa and Phil down below. And Pascal, do you support Trump?
Would you rather be a triple T accelerationist or a neolibertarian phalangist?
Neolibertarian phalangist for sure. I think that tongue to her accelerationism is like clearly right, not as wait, fuck. I didn't remember the lingo for how they justify neolibertarian phalangism. Fuck, I forgot it.
I don't remember the justification. I remember the explanation.
Forgot the argument. Oh yeah, what's the explanation for neolibertarian phalangism, Santana?
No, I remember from when you broke it down, not because they explained it.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to remember their explanation. Hey, welcome in, man. Do you support Trump? Hello? Oh, yeah. Something about, like, true syndicalism with freedom through libertarianism while also giving some level of credence to phalangism. I don't know. It's just a mess. Let's go to get that next guest connected, guys. Please only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. Please, guys, follow the rules of the live stream.
Hello?
Welcome in, Matthew. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
21.
And why do you support Trump?
Well, is it fine if I have just questions?
Well, it's fine if you have like a question, but like the purpose of this live stream is to like host political debates with those in which I disagree with, which would be to like have debates with Trump supporters.
Okay. The reason I voted for Trump this time is I feel like they rushed in Kamala Harris too fast. Like, I don't understand what she could have done. And we knew what Trump did through 2016.
Okay. Yeah, listen, man. I agree that like Harris's campaign was really short. I mean, she had like 100 days to prep compared to Trump having 8 years. So, well, don't like that's definitely true. And I think that that's kind of Biden's fault. But She was pretty effective in those 100 days at, getting her policy to be known. And frankly, if she was elected, we just would have had better public policy today in America with a better country for everyone in it. I think that Donald Trump's second administration so far has been bullshit. And it's so terrible to the point where it's like, even if you didn't know much about her, in retrospect, we could agree that we just should have took the gamble because no way it would have been as bad as what we see today under Trump.
But what about her? Her, I don't know what she was in San Francisco or where was she? Was governor?
When she was the district attorney and attorney general.
She sent a bunch of people to jail and everything like that is what I've heard. I don't know the full.
So the claim is that a prosecutor prosecuted people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was for
Don't say the name of any drug.
Information. I'm sorry, I don't want to spread.
The claim is that she sent people to jail for drug use. That's what prosecutors do. They prosecute the laws on the book. And I'd say this is more reflective of an issue with the criminal justice system as a whole compared to any individual prosecutor. And I think that Harris really, really rang that bell loudly. She was one of the first DAs in America to start a work program for first-time drug offenders compared to just straight to jail. That was great. And in 2014, she said it's time to end the war on drugs. Then in 2018, she tried to get policy passed through Congress when she was a senator to federally decriminalize use of the M drug, but the Republicans stopped it. So she was just a progressive working within an archaic Republican system, trying to do the best she could, but ultimately that's what her job required her to. So I don't understand why we'd sit here and say that this means she would have been a bad president.
Yeah, so I just want to add on with the program that you're talking about, the Back on Track program. There was over 1,900 people that came through the system, and only about 40 some odd people were actually sent to jail because they had an additional crime. So that's just not true what you're saying.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't trying to, I wasn't saying I
didn't
know for
what's
sure.
What's worse, a prosecutor prosecuting or Trump raping Eugene Carroll?
No, I mean, that's a whole
Trump's
different
done.
kind of story. No, I mean, I get what you're saying, but
yeah. So because Trump's done worse, she would have been better, according to you and according to me.
I mean, I guess, but I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Have a good one, Matthew.
Man, don't fold that quick, Matthew. Fight back.
I don't think I asked him for his age. I think it could have been a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoops. Yo, L, you're in the comment section. You really want to really want to have a debate. You just have to take your account off private, then you can join the guest request. Sometimes it does not allow private accounts to join the queue. Let's go to get the next guest connected right now, guys. Only opposite side of the queue. If you're an American adult and you want to come up here and give me and Santana a debate about why you are MAGA, please follow the rules. Okay. Hey, welcome in, Emily. Do you support Trump?
Israel, I love you. Benjamin Netanyahu.
What's the second part?
Can we? Oh, I don't know. I know the actual song.
Wow,
hey,
fake Zionist. Fake Zionist.
I have a really big thank you, if you don't mind, really quickly.
Yeah, go for it.
Jacob, holy shit. Thank you so much for the $100 donation. That is fucking crazy.
Awesome.
Jacob said, you're the GOAT, love your content. Greatly enjoy your debates and shining light. The only thing, on things I never gave much thought about, like my white privilege. Thank you, and thank you for keeping me thinking. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jacob. You're awesome.
W's for Jacob. Holy. Hey, welcome in. Do you support Trump, Nico?
Hey, what's up, Dean? Yeah, I just want to say fuck Donald Trump, man.
Okay, super base, but, we're looking for Trump supporters, so I'm going to go to... Dude, oh my goodness, Santana. I clicked on the X next to that dude's name 3 times in a row, and every single time it brought up, so you want to disconnect Santana? Holy.
TikTok has been I'm telling you, today it kept kicking my other account. I don't know what's going on. It's been really rough on Studio.
Yeah, well, I mean, admittedly, I don't even use Studio. I use my phone to control the guests. Leo, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
We are Charlie Kirk.
Gone. Sorry, Mar. I'm tired tonight. Banned! Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump. We got Stopwatch joining the box. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Jesus Christ. Okay, Mark, I'm back, please. Prefer you over that.
Brutal. I'm telling you, the nights have been wild. These people suck.
Yeah, Jesus. Only opposite side of the queue if you're MAGA. Welcome in, PG Boss. Do you support Trump?
Oh, hey, it's Mr. Phil here with $100. I don't know if you saw that. I wanted to separate the donation with the $100 with Santana and Parker. You just didn't say it in there.
Who? What was your name?
Mr. Phil. I
Phil.
donated the $100.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, Phil. Well,
Yeah.
honestly, thank you so much for that on. And Phil, wow, yeah, you've been supporting me for a long time, man. I'm gonna go to move on to the next guest. I'll happily share that with them. So thank you so much for coming up here and letting me know. But it's
Love
also
you, man.
nice
You're
to
the
meet
fucking best. You're a true patriot, dude. I fucking love it.
the voice
35.
behind the person.
Love
Hey,
you, dude.
Yeah, take care,
you're my
Phil.
boy, dude.
Dude,
Love you.
Dude, Phil's actually chill as hell. Phil's been supporting the streams for a long time. I really
Phil.
appreciate you, man.
The good Phil.
Yeah, and shout out to you for coming up here and letting me know that you wanted me to split that 3 ways. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. That way I will. You got a present coming, Mr. Santana. I'll make sure Parker knows as well. Shout out Phil. You know, usually I don't know. Maybe in like under typical circumstances, it'd be like, you know, like kind of upset that somebody who is not a Trump supporter is joining to say something. But I mean, Phil's been supporting forever, so that's fine. Thank you once again, man. Hey, let's go to get that next guest connected to the live stream. Marcus, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
I do.
How do you?
How do I support Trump?
Yeah.
I mean, he's
how old are you?
Okay, as of right now, he's
How
not
old?
lowering gas prices.
Age,
but he's already
age,
said within
age,
the next
Marcus.
2 weeks.
Marcus!
I'm 18. I'm 18. I'm 18. You can check my profile.
What year were you born in?
My bad. 07.
Okay.
I'm 18. Like, I legit just turned 18.
What month?
December 27th.
Okay, sounds good, man. Hey, listen, I'm going to thank a couple people, then the mic of the floor will be yours, dude. On Venmo, thank you, Anna Sophia, for the $30, who says, hey, Dean, it's been a little while, but I still really appreciate you for what you do. Anna Sophia, good to see you as always. That is ANASOFIA. Thank you for the $30. I hope that you're doing well. Please show some love to Anna Sophia in that chat. Vanessa, thank you for the $10 for snacks for your necessary emotional support, kitty. Dudes, Momo's net worth goes up again. Thank you for the 10. And Rachel, thank you for the $20, who says, hey, Dean, it's been a while since I've been on, and Mac definitely hasn't gotten any smarter since then. Hope you have an amazing live. Well, thank you, Rachel. I hope that you're doing well, and thank you for the support. And if you happen to still be watching, shout out to you, and I hope that you enjoy the stream tonight. Evan, thank you for the $10. She says, here's one more donation for 1 gallon of gas. What's the worst debate that you've had with somebody, and how do you deal with idiots like most of them? Worst debate was probably on the Jubilee Roundtable episode that I filmed the day before the Surrounded episode, day before yesterday. It was like an all-time worst. Like, I don't even think it's watchable, honestly. Like, I won't blame you guys if you don't go to see it.
I need details on that one.
Yeah, I'll have to share them with you privately. I got you. Dude, Mr. Jacob, holy shit. Thank you for the $100 donation on PayPal. Yo, I don't know what's going on tonight. Y'all are being so kind to me. Just know that I don't take it for granted. I thank you so much, Jacob. Thank you for your love, your kindness, and your generosity. That is just insane. Jacob with $100 says, hey, man, greatly appreciate what you do. You're the GOAT, and you beat this MAGA fascist all the time. Keep it up, man. Jacob, like I said to Phil, you've also been supporting for a very long time. I'm so very grateful for you. Let's get 1,000 Jacob W's in that chat. Same thing to you, Francis. Thank you for the $20. Who says, I don't know why you weren't going live the last couple of days. I was getting ready to call in a welfare check. I was off. I was filming some debate episodes for Jubilee out in California. It was exhausting, but that's why I had to take the time off. Thank you so much for the $20. Show some love to Jacob. Show some love to Francis. Thank you guys so much for that love and support. Take it away, man. Tell us why you support Trump.
Are we good?
Yeah. Why are you mad?
Okay. He did say he was lowering gas prices after the Iran war.
Wow.
That's my first point.
You've been conned. I understand that when I walked into office, gas prices were on a downward trajectory. I can't pronounce that word because I'm a fucking moron. But I promise you, even though I increased the price of gas the most in a month since the Vietnam War, the draft that I dodged 5 times, by the way, and you were now paying like $1 quadrillion per gallon of gas, I will make them go down again. You just wait. How about this? Let's wait for them to actually go down first, and let's see if they just simply go back to where they were before the war. Because if that's the case, well, sure, things eventually equalized out, and it became stable, but there was a bunch of unnecessary pain for like 4 months, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if Donald Trump walked up to you, took a knife, and like cut a huge gash in your arm, but like inevitably it healed perfectly, you wouldn't say, I support Trump because the gash in my arm is gone. you'd say I wouldn't support Trump because he caused the gash in my arm in the first place, even though it healed.
Also, I would kind of think that due to capitalism, even if the gas prices do go back down afterwards, I don't think they'll go as low as they were. Like it's probable or possible that it could, lower without hitting where it was before the war. So we would be screwed regardless.
Okay. You brought up some good points on that one. I really can't argue that because obviously gas prices aren't going down; they're an upward trajectory.
Okay, so Trump raped a woman. Do you agree that rapists shouldn't be in the Oval Office?
No, 100%. But can you give me undeniable proof that he raped someone?
Yeah, sure. Here's the jury verdict form. From a unanimous jury of 9 that held him civilly liable for raping Agent Carroll, including a juror that was on the Ryan Love Tim pool. Liable specifically for sexual abuse, which is rape. There's a question that you'll probably have about this jury verdict form. Feel free to ask it. Predominantly, why am I saying that the jury held him liable for rape if it says no to rape, which is question number 1? Well, because the legal definition of rape in New York at the time was like penile rape. Okay, penis penetrating vagina, but he raped her with her fingers. So that was legally constituted as sexual abuse. But it's definitely still rape to forcefully penetrate a woman's vagina with your fingers without consent.
No, 100%. But is that just accusations like from that woman or?
That was a jury verdict form from a court, dude.
It's legal.
Damn. Okay, hold on. I gotta look into that. I haven't seen that yet at all. Where'd you find it?
nycourts.gov? Just go on Google and type in Trump rape case. I mean, this has been a tenet of like modern political discussion for the last 3 years. I'm surprised you haven't heard about it. Wow.
I haven't heard about it. I haven't seen it. None of that.
I think that you'd probably benefit more from watching the streams compared to being on them. Just because it seems to be the case that there's probably a lot more value there for you just because you seem uneducated. And you just take more away from watching. Okay, and I'm not, and I appreciate you for being willing to learn, by the way. I'm not calling you uneducated to diss you. I'm just simply stating the fact and appreciating the fact that you're willing to learn.
Before I go, can I ask one more question?
Sure.
What do you think about the No Kings protest in Minneapolis when they weren't allowing people in there like Trump supporters or any of that? Like they weren't allowing them to go through traffic. They weren't allowing them to walk through there.
Civil disobedience.
Based.
Civil disobedience, man. It's good. I think that we need some civil disobedience. Now, if they face consequences legally for those actions because they were illegal, okay, I'm not going to be mad at that either, okay, because it's not civil disobedience if you don't risk facing consequences for doing it. That's just kind of something that you accept by engaging in it. So I'm not going to say, ooh, you're ticketing people for being in the middle of the road. No, they knew that what they were doing was illegal. It's fine to ticket them. That's civil disobedience. But yeah, I mean, I support civil disobedience in many circumstances.
Okay, word.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you.
Yeah. Yep. Let's go to get the next guest connected to the live stream. This guy was in the comment section screaming for like an hour. Have you calmed down, sir? Or ma'am, or I guess I don't know what your pronouns are. No, you haven't calmed down. How old are you?
No, bro. 20.
20? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, what time is it?
What do you mean what time it is?
The time?
I mean what I said. What time is it?
Why is that important, bro?
Because I'm looking to talk to Americans, dude.
I am American, bro.
Okay, so just what time is it?
Bro, let me debate with you about this, alright?
Holy cow, get out of here. Why? Let's go to get that next guest connected to the live stream. Only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be a Trump supporter, please and thank you. Make sure that you're following the rules of the live.
Barbara, thank you so much for the 5. I'm glad you enjoyed the episode. This guy sucks.
All right, guys, still looking for the next guest, folks, for the 9.7 thousand people hanging out with us in here for the day. I appreciate y'all so very much for being here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. I said that tonight's live would
Fuck
be
Charlie
cut
Kirk, you
2
black
hours,
ass nigger. Fuck Charlie Kirk, you
would
black
be
ass.
cut 2 hours short. But we're probably going to go longer than just 2 hours, right? Because we're nearly 2 hours in. Admittedly, guys, I am tired, but I'm not done. So we'll see how long we're going to be on here for. Yo, Amanda, thank you for the $50 on PayPal. Holy crap, Amanda. Thank you. That is AMA, NDA. Show some love to Amanda down below in that chat. That is a massive contribution. I'm so very grateful for you. Thank you, Amanda. Amanda with the 50 says, some musicians such as Jimi Hendrix experience sounds and colors and patterns. You said that you have a visual memory. Do you ever experience I don't know how to pronounce that word. I know what that word is referring
Symphony?
to. No, it is Synaesthesia. Synesthesia is like the my best attempt at pronouncing that word. When you listen or play music. Well, I know what that word refers to, even though I can't pronounce it. And no, I don't. Interestingly enough. Jess, welcome into Sport Trump. Hello, Jess? Okay, Jess isn't here. We're going to get that next guest connected to the live stream. Sin is...
Hey, I don't know if you just saw or this just came across, but it looks like Iran just launched missiles and drones towards Kuwait. They're saying that it's heading towards the direction of the Ali Al Saham air base.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, negotiations are back off the table. Holy.
Ooh.
Dude, this is not going in Trump's favor, man.
No.
And honestly, I got to say, I'm kind of surprised it's not. And this is something that I don't really ever talk about. But like, you would think that because regardless of like your thoughts on, the American government, like admittedly, we do have some firepower, right? And that's not like a moral judgment. That's just a descriptive claim. So you'd think when we're like very immorally like bullying like some small ass country, killing their people and whatnot, that they just roll over. But they're not rolling over. They're not rolling over by any means whatsoever. And I think that would be against the expectations of many. And I think that is really something that's put Donald Trump in a terrible position.
Yeah, I'll say this really quick. I have a friend who is a lifelong military member who's pretty high ranking, and the feedback that he's giving me is they actually don't have much of a plan. Unlike prior administrations, like they have no actual plan, which has been the toughest part. And the Iranians have been and they're engaging in smart warfare as far as how they're engaging. So,
yeah. Lux, welcome into Sport Trump.
Yo, Dean, Undertale or Deltarune, bro? Undertale or Deltarune, bro?
Undertale. Moving on to the next guest. Only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump. Please, dude, guys, follow.
Santana, why are you ableist? Genuinely, like it's kind of weird.
Oh, I just
no, actually, no,
I just
you're
tagged
actually
you back.
ableist, and you're literally
How
so
am I ableist?
hypocritical. Because
How am I
basically, this
ableist?
one guy came. I'm gonna tell you if you stop.
How am I
interrupting me.
ableist?
I'm about to
are you
tell
talking?
you.
Are you? Oh, wait, are you talking about what's his name? Silly Goose?
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you're talking about the guy, Silly Goose. It was a whole thing. This is so 2025. You can come
This
up here and
was
say,
so,
Santana,
like,
why are you
a
so
month
ableist?
ago. What are you
Legitimately,
on? I
no,
want
it's
what
not
you're
a
on.
month
What are
ago.
you even on?
What
Dude,
was
this
it?
was a
What was it a
month
month ago? Tell me about
When
it.
you were making fun of somebody because they couldn't say their R's properly, and then somebody
What did I
called
say?
you out on it, and you were like,
What did I
don't
say?
care. You're not. You're
What did I
virtue
say?
signaling. I'm not gonna repeat what
Tell
you
me
like,
what
did
I
because
said.
that's gonna be mean.
Okay, point me towards the clip.
This girl came and confronted you on it, and you said
Oh,
that
so
you didn't
you're
care.
talking about a girl confronting me. Show me the clip of me being ableist. Where's that?
It's on your YouTube. It's under
It's
one of
on
your
my
live streams.
YouTube. Where?
Yeah, because you film all your live streams on
Yes,
YouTube,
I do.
and you're
Where?
ableist.
Tell me
and
where's
that's
that?
weird.
Tell
Yeah,
me where's
sure.
that?
Go on YouTube.
Sure, go on YouTube. Where? Be specific.
Are you saying you believe in things without evidence?
I'm saying I want you to tell me specifically where it's at.
Yeah, YouTube. Go ahead. Go. Under one of your vibes.
Just randomly go to YouTube. I'm on live twice a day, every day. You want me to just randomly find something on
What
YouTube?
the fuck is your profile picture?
That's just
What do
another
you
weirdo.
mean?
It's me with a baby Charlie Kirk in my hands with a MAGA hat on.
She's just a weird,
You're not
obsessive
wearing a MAGA
person.
hat.
She's just a weirdo.
Dude,
Obsessive
maybe,
weirdo.
listen, I'll let you adjudicate that claim on your live and your time, Santana. We're here. And listen, if it was anybody but Liv, I would be like, oh, you know, like maybe we need to investigate this right now, see if Santana said something.
Oh wait, that
anyways.
was Liv?
Yeah, just like by default, like I am just not predisposed to like give any credence to the words that leave her mouth.
Wait, you know she's pissed off because I blocked her.
Yeah, and I'll let you adjudicate and talk about that claim on your live stream. I'll take a look at, you know, like there's further conversation about. I'll look into it, right? You know, but like Liv, I'm sorry. According to Liv, I am a grifting racist. So I don't really think that our words mean too much. Welcome in. Do you support Trump, Susan?
I do.
How old are you?
I'm 75.
You're 75?
Yes,
Yes, you're 75, Susan.
I am 75.
And yeah, what's your favorite song from the 90s?
Fade Into You.
Can you please sing Fade Into You by Maisie Starr for us?
Would you like me to start at the beginning?
How about this? One second. 1 second. 1 second, please.
W's in chat for Jammy. Thank you so much for the 5. I love you as well. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed the
I need to see
Jubilee
if
episode.
Sue actually knows Fade
I'm
Into
waiting
You.
to see this too. I'm interested.
Let's go ahead and get the headset back on. And of course, it's just a mess. There we go. All right. How does that go? Fade Into You.
You want me to start at the beginning?
I think my guitar's a little out of tune.
I'll start at the beginning for you.
It's really out of tune. Fuck. Okay, well, I'd play it for you if my guitar was in tune, and I'm not going to take the time to tune it. But yeah, why don't you go ahead and soon Fade Into You. Please, let's hear it.
You want me to start at the beginning?
Yeah, just to clarify that you actually know that song to prove your age.
I want to hold the hand inside you. I want to take the breath that's true. I look to you when I see nothing.
I don't know if that cough was a part of the song. Let's go to get that next guest connected to the live stream. Only opposite side of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Follow the rules. Follow the rules. All right, folks. Let's go to get that next guest connected to the live stream right now, everyone. If you want to support me, if you want to support the live, you can find the Venmo, the PayPal, and the link tree in the bio on TikTok. Pin message on that other place. Only opposite side of the queue if you are MAGA. On Super Chat, Catherine, thank you so much for the $20. Who says, please discuss Trump's dementia and mental illnesses soon. Mental health professionals have alerted Congress that he is unfit and his access to nuclear weapons must be removed for world survival. Oh, he should absolutely be thrown out of office because he's unfit. If it was anybody but Trump, like calling for the genocide of 60 million people, threatening the Pope on Easter, praising Allah on Easter after they claim to be a Christian, and, you know, shit posting like 33 times in the middle of the night about how Obama needs to be locked up because he's literally a demon, of course we'd agree that they're mentally unfit to be in any like position of power, especially the presidency, dude. Thank you for the $20. Show some love to Jose for the $20 as well. You says, for Dean as a 61-year-old, I'm so enthused by you, Parker, and Santana, and other young folks. That means you too, Santana, because I believe our country actually has a chance. Your generation is a goat. Fight on, Dean. Jose.
I'm not so young, so the other two are.
I appreciate you, Jose. I love meeting people in that older generation. You know, that appreciate what we do here. It's always warming just to know that we kind of, that's definitely like a 13-year-old. It's always heartwarming to know that what we do kind of breaks the boundary of Gen Z. I love that. I do. Let's go to get the next Trump supporter connected to the box right now. Please only hop inside of the queue if you are actually MAGA guys. We're going to go to put the rules back up in the middle of the phone screen. Hi, do you support Trump?
Hi, I want to ask a quick question.
Yeah, don't care. If you're not a Trump supporter, low key. Do you support
No,
Trump though?
I am.
And how
I
old are
am,
you?
yes.
And how old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay. All right.
I am.
Yeah, totally, bro, completely.
Say it more forceful. We'll believe you.
Yeah. Lena, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. Who says, I've been struggling with a new autoimmune disease diagnosis, and your debates have helped me feel connected to the outside world. Grateful for you. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Lena. I wish you the very best of luck, genuinely. And then Dominic, I appreciate you for the $5. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
31.
Sounds good. Give me one moment. Mackenzie, thank you for these 70 Canadian dollars on Super Chat. Yo, thank you, Mackenzie. Show some love to Mackenzie down below in that comment section. I appreciate you. Thank you. Mackenzie with the 70 Canadian dollars says, you need to do some more late night lives. Love you, Dean. I don't know. I get too tired. I like doing my live streams in the middle of the day. I appreciate you so much for that love though, Mackenzie. It's good to see you, and thank you for the $70 donation. Please show some love to Mackenzie down below. Thank you. You are awesome. That is so generous and kind of you. Thank you, Mackenzie. I'll go to take it away, little bro. Tell us why you support the worst president of your life, Mr. The Dipey Don.
Can I ask a question before we start?
Oh yeah, sure. As long as it's relevant to your
Well,
argument.
I joined your guys'
Artist, thank you for the soccer
conversation.
hello.
It was you, Dean, and I think Santana joined.
I don't
You guys
remember
no, I wasn't up there. It was Parker's Live, you two and some guy, but they were talking about when you had made those comments when you were 14. And I was just curious, when would someone expect, and this just goes in general, because you made the comment like, obviously I'm not racist now, I defend them and all that. When did you become, I guess, non-racist after that? That's kind of how you portrayed it, and I guess I was just confused. When you started doing
in
lives,
essence, I'm just
or-
saying that it's like always racist for white people to use the N-word. So like because I hold to the view that it's always racist for white people to use the N-word. Okay, I was like racist when I used the N-word, and then it became
Right.
like non-racist retrospect in that relative to that sense. Like when I stopped using the N-word at like 15 or so. But let's just get the argument why you support
never
Trump.
racist, right?
I think the actual thing is being anti-racist. I mean, like, just when you have these inherent biases, or you're inherently one thing or the other, if you don't belong to a certain group, you have to make the shift from being a part of it, whether you actively participate in something or not, or into the point of like actively going against it. So it's being anti-racist. Like you have to do a thing to actively fight against that. So if you're looking for how you can be actively someone who stands on the side of being anti-racist, then you should start with deconstruction. You should start with actually educating yourself. You should start with maybe listening to Black people, and maybe studying the history of race and things along those lines. If you're seeking more information about how you can be better and be anti-racist, then that. But why do you support Trump?
Yeah. Good question, man. Happy I could answer it. And Santana, thank you for hopping in there. Let's just hear the explanation of the view. Why do you think Trump is a good president?
I really appreciate his effort on the border. I don't, you say what's his policy? I don't know his specific policy, but I'm just saying, I know that the border is a lot more secure, and we have a lot less people that we don't know what their background is or what their past history is.
Yeah,
than we
we'll talk
did.
about that. We'll talk about that. Yeah.
All right.
Also, guys, I got the guitar tunes. Maybe I need to get Sue back up here. Should we get Sue back up here to sing some Mazzy Star? Okay, listen.
Some Freebird.
One day I'll learn the Freebird solo. One day. Okay, so talking about the border, I don't think that Donald Trump has implemented any long-term proactive effective border policy to make it any more secure than it was under Biden. The reason why I think that there's less crossings today is rather because I think that Donald Trump has scared them away by violating the human, natural, and constitutional rights of the undocumented immigrants who are already here. Okay? All right? This is either through his EOs to reclassify citizens as undocumented immigrants unconstitutionally to deport them, deporting people in no due process in violation of their 4th and 14th Amendment rights, just by generally spreading really like cruel and demonizing-esque rhetoric surrounding undocumented immigrants, like the lie that they're like bad, violent criminals who escaped mental institutions and asylums when they're actually 2.5 times less likely to do so, commit a violent crime in Arkansas compared to the average U.S. citizen.
Would you, if you got told you're going to get 10 undocumented immigrants to come live in your house, do you think you'd feel safe or no?
Well, I'd feel safer than if I was told I'd have 10 random citizens in my house, because that's what statistics say. But like generally, I'd feel unsafe with anybody living in my house that I didn't know, right?
That's
I didn't know
also, I
really
think that's
like they shouldn't be here regardless. So
But
instead of 10 people in the house, you have 0 living in your house.
But that's a
Therefore,
weird
you're more safe.
analogy for you to say like 10 people in the house. I mean, like when you talk about the country, what state do you live in?
Michigan.
Michigan. Okay. Do you know everyone that lives in Wisconsin?
Do I know everyone? I don't know anyone that lives in Michigan. I don't know anyone that lives in anywhere.
Okay. So, but like, do you have an issue with people coming from another state that you don't know?
No, I have no problem with that.
Okay, but so it's a weird analogy. Just because you don't know them, like, doesn't mean that they're not trustworthy.
Right.
It doesn't mean that we would just let them in our house.
Yeah, like ultimately the reason why I'd say like no, I wouldn't feel safe with that is because like they're strangers to me. But there'd be like there'd be no like significant difference and the level of like difference that I'd feel between me and a stranger living in my house, regardless if that stranger was an undocumented immigrant or a citizen. Right, so like under your view that we need to send them out of the country because I wouldn't feel safe with them in my house means that we also need to deport everybody that Dean Withers doesn't personally know and feel comfortable around and trust to preside in his house, right? Which would include like
first of all, your chat right now is
and millions
talking
of
crazy.
citizens. Did you say
Your chat right now is talking crazy. No.
Did you say the N-word earlier? Okay.
Absolutely not, and I will put my life on that.
Yeah.
Two,
you could stand alive unless I see some evidence of it, but please go ahead and respond to the counter rebuttal to your position.
yeah, I would love to see a screenshot of that too, please.
One person said it in the chat, and then everybody started copying.
People start spamming it.
Please
Yeah,
find
if
it.
there-
Yeah,
if there's-
just lock in and respond to what Dean said, please and thank you.
If there's any evidence of that, feel free to drop it in the Discord. But of course, like I operate off of evidence. So go ahead.
Dean, so my thing with you don't know people in Wisconsin, they come over. What do you expect that person from Wisconsin to have though when they come over? What did you expect? An ID
to my house?
What?
We're talking about a house analogy.
I thought we were just talking about when they cross.
No, I'm
state
trying to get you
lines,
to concede that like
bringing
you made a
them
really
illegal.
stupid analogy there by saying, "Oh, what I let them live in my house."
I'm just saying you wouldn't let anyone live in your house, right?
I'm saying that
You
the
don't know.
reasons why I wouldn't let them live in my house are irrespective of their status as citizenship and more so in consideration of the fact that they're a stranger to me, which is like a completely
Yeah,
different
there's-
standard than like
100%.
either
You
I
don't
or
know their
you.
background.
Listen, don't interrupt me. I'm going to start from the top. The reasons why I wouldn't let a random undocumented immigrant live in my house is irrespective of their citizenship status, but rather in consideration of the fact that they're a stranger to me. Okay, but like somebody being a stranger to you is not your standard for who we should let or not let into the country. It's also not my standard for who we should let or not let into the country. And for that reason, it's just a completely irrelevant hypothetical.
Okay, but logically speaking, right? If you have someone in your house that is a American citizen, they likely aren't a criminal, right? Because they're out on the streets or whatever. Let's pretend they're out.
Oh yeah, you're more likely to get killed, murdered, raped by by a citizen in your house than an undocumented immigrant in your house. PNAS tells us that undocumented immigrants are 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes and 4 times less likely to commit non-violent crimes.
Dean, answer this question.
Okay.
If there's someone right in front of you and they had their fist clenched and they wanted to punch you, okay? Versus nobody in front of you, who's more likely to punch you in the face? Which one?
Yeah, clearly the person with their fist out.
Okay, exactly.
That's such a bad analogy.
I don't even understand the analogy. I'm waiting for him to explain.
That's why it's so bad.
I answered your question.
I'm trying to-
Okay, and then,
I'm trying to dumb it down
make
for
a point with it. That's fine.
So
Dumb
if
it
that
down for
person
me,
in front of you
hilarious.
isn't there, i.e. illegal
Like,
immigrant,
make it a little bit more smart so we can follow. Can you do that one?
I think I could
I'm a
repackage. I think that I could
Republican, so
repackage
brilliant,
this
so
argument. So your argument is like, although they may be less likely to commit violent crimes, they still do commit some, and if they weren't here, they'd commit none.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so you look at that. I could repackage your argument better than you can. Okay, well, the issue with that claim is, well, because of the negative economic effects of mass deportation, we would expect to see an increase in poverty, and a lot of crime is derivative of poverty, so thereby we'd expect to see an increase in crime.
Dean, how do we get rid of mass deportation? How do you get rid of that problem? You don't allow them here in the first place. Why are they here in the first place? Because your beloved Kamala Harris let them all in. The borders are ourselves.
I do agree that the way that we like avoid the dilemma of a bunch of undocumented immigrants in our country and like a debate of mass deportation versus amnesty is to like prevent them from coming here in the first place. I just think the right way to prevent them from coming here in the first place is to naturally disincentivize undocumented entry for like 99.99% of them, which is to expedite the legal means of entry into this country, because 99% of undocumented immigrants, okay, don't come in with the use of undocumented means because they wouldn't like qualify properly for the legal means, but rather because they take 10 to 20 years and cost like $60,000. And then your secondary claim about the Biden-Harris administration letting a bunch of immigrants in is just a bunch of bullshit. I would assume that your argument is because we saw a lot of undocumented immigrants come into America under Biden, that therefore Biden caused it.
I'm just saying, if these undocumented immigrants, is that what you said, right? Undocumented took Trump's offer of a free plane ride and cash to get out of here. Like, we wouldn't be spending so much money on ICE and mass deportation and all that.
Okay.
Right?
So maybe if they were taking maybe if they were taking Donald Trump's offer of a free plane ride and cash, well then maybe we would be having a different conversation and I'd be giving you different arguments than I am insofar as why I disagree.
Right?
But the point is well, it doesn't seem like they are. So it does seem like we're doing mass deportation. So therefore it kind of does. So that's not true. So do you think that DACA recipients are criminals?
Of whose?
DACA recipients are criminals?
I don't even know what that is.
That is a program for undocumented immigrants who came into the country as young children, and it gives them legal protection, so they can't just be deported necessarily. So do you think they're criminals? Because they are undocumented immigrants.
Dude, this is who I think's a criminal.
I just want a yes or no.
I don't know enough to answer that question.
Okay, so then you don't know enough to say that 100% of undocumented immigrants are criminals. Now, next question.
Did
criminal?
they commit a crime versus the United States? Yes or no?
Well, I think that would be up to your determination because I'm asking you the question of your view. So you're asking me about my view. Okay. So when you ask me a question about my view, okay, I'm going to give you a different response compared to your view. So no, I don't think that they committed a crime.
Oh my gosh. I'm asking you, does the United States view that as a crime? Yes or no?
Well, if by crime you mean criminal infraction, not in all scenarios, no.
Okay, then I agree with that.
Okay, so then you agree that no, 100% of undocumented immigrants are not criminals. But you know who is a criminal? The president that you support, Mr. Donald Trump, rapist, 34-count felon, been held civilly liable for defrauding the university, been held civilly liable for lying to a bank about the valuation of his properties, infringed or threatened to infringe on the Constitution 10 times in the last year and a half, and has committed very heinous crimes, such as, once again, rape, and has protected heinous crimes, like with the Epstein Files debacle.
Dude, okay, I don't know which direction. I would like to stay on the 11 minutes, but
I know. I'm just calling out your hypocrisy because you're like, oh, they're all criminals. We need to get them out of the country. Meanwhile, they're like unaccompanied minors who came in at like 3 years of age, but apparently they're more of a threat than the rapist 34-count felon. You're right. I've interrupted you. My apologies. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, when you guys, Dean, and everybody always throw the 34 felonies out there like he's just the absolute worst when his lawyers made the mistake. That's not his fault. He's not the one writing the checks. Like, how can you put that on him?
Well, if he wasn't the one committing the crime, and rather like Michael Cohen, for instance, was committing the crime, then Michael Cohen would have been found guilty of the felonies, not Trump.
And Michael Cohen did his time for his part.
Yeah.
So like you can't just say it was the lawyer.
I mean, he was the one doing all the financials, right? You can't expect
he did his time for his part. He was actually convicted as well. I could get it if you say that, oh, it was the lawyer and the lawyer got off scot-free and they're blaming it on Trump. No, both of them were guilty. They were in cahoots.
Listen, I'll give you an example. So, like, if I make $1 million a year and I have a tax accountant to help me commit as much tax fraud as possible, and I direct this tax accountant to, once again, commit as much tax fraud on my behalf as possible. I tell him, I made $1 million. I want you to like ignore like $250,000 of my income and use your tax accountant skills to just commit all this other tax fraud too. Okay, well, yeah, I'm going to jail because ultimately I was an accomplice to that crime. I was directing the crime, and ultimately that reflects on me and my taxes paid on my income. Okay, but they're also probably going to go to jail for a little bit because they actually helped me carry out that crime, given the fact that they're the CPA. So very similarly, when we see Donald Trump is like paying out of his business expenses, quote unquote, funds to Stormy Daniels to stay quiet about the fact that he had cheated on Melania with her prior to the 2016 election. Yeah, like Michael Cohen's going to serve some time because he was the man helping Donald Trump illegitimately falsify ledger entries and checks. But he was the one that was ultimately spending the money. He was the one who ultimately had that reflect on him, his business, and his false business transactions. And he's ultimately the one that cheated on his wife and wanted the person he cheated on her with to stay quiet about it and gave her funds from his business, right? So they're both to blame. Donald Trump more so than Michael Cohen, but both to blame nonetheless.
Okay, you can have that opinion, but at the same time, when we're talking about it and you're
That's
making
just how the
these...
law works.
Okay,
It's not
again,
an opinion. That's a fact of how the law works. And this is a nonpartisan fact. This isn't something that is politically contested by either side of the aisle. That's, once again, just how the law works.
Okay, again, but when you guys
Like,
bring
do
this
you
up...
think that you could just go hire a CPA and tell them to to falsify all your taxes, and if you get caught, you're fine because technically you didn't do it? No, you guys are both going down. Do you think that you could hire an assassin to kill your wife and you're not going to go to jail because technically you didn't do it? No, both of you guys are going down.
I know, but and if I hire someone to kill my wife or whatever, like that would be an absolute like that should be brought up. But the fact that you guys bring this up, that his lawyer did this type of stuff, and then like that's part of your excuse on in the same manner of someone hiring someone to kill their wife is crazy to me.
No, that was an analogy that I was using to demonstrate the point that when you hire people to do things for you that are illegal, like you were culpable for that crime yourself. And your argument is because Donald Trump hired somebody to do an illegal thing for him on his behalf with his money and his business that was illegal, that therefore Donald Trump is not culpable for that crime in and of himself. That was just simply an analogy to demonstrate the point to you.
Also, Dean, I don't know if you've seen this, but in Bob Woodward's book, War, from an investigator journalist, someone who has a direct line from Watergate to the Biden administration to the Trump administration. There's actually a great excerpt from his book where he talked about how after the case, Donald Trump was actually pissed that people told him that, hey, you could have actually gotten away with this if Michael Cohen would have told you to do blah, blah, blah. And Donald Trump admitted to actually knowing that Michael Cohen was doing it this way. And he was mad at Michael Cohen because he should have done it a different way. So like literally him and Michael Cohen made this decision together.
Yeah, like, dude, if he just used his own money from his own personal bank account that he had taken out of the business, then it would have been legal.
Is there any facts on that, Santana? I was just curious on that.
Yeah, I mean, the way that you can actually categorize the campaign finances.
I know, but you said Trump said this. Like, where?
Oh no, it's in Bob Woodward's book.
Okay, so Bob said that he said this.
Bob Woodward, the book War.
But I'm saying Bob said this.
Republicans don't take responsibility for jack fucking shit. Yeah, like when an unaccompanied 3-year-old comes to the country illegally, they're a criminal that needs to be deported at once. But when the president of the United States breaks the law 34 times and is found guilty, you know what? Law of the Wild, do you want to come up here real quick? I see you in that comment section. How about we just get a lawyer to have this conversation with you?
I admitted to you that wasn't the case. I said that to you. Right after
Okay, so you can see. So I just want to clarify.
I'm not
you concede
conceding.
the
I
argument.
agree with you. The United States says it's not a crime. That's what I said.
Okay, but I just want to clarify that you concede the argument that it wasn't him and it was his lawyer.
I mean, I don't know.
We just, you know what? Law of the Wilds. Welcome in.
What
I'm
up,
happy you're
Law?
free. Mike and the floor are yours.
How are you doing?
Who is this guy?
That's Law, sucker.
I guess he works in Minnesota. Doesn't count.
Okay. So what was the point of contention with the felony charges?
You want me to respond, or Dean, you want to tell him?
Yeah. What's your point of contention with his felony convictions?
I guess my thought process is that Trump isn't personally writing all these checks. He's not doing the day in and the day out of paying whoever, whatever. His lawyer's the one doing all this stuff. So when these guys get caught or whatever, I don't think it's Trump doing all this stuff. I think his lawyers are the ones that are complicit. That's what I said.
Well, Trump personally signed 9 of the 11 checks that were written. Does that change your thought process?
Okay, and again, do you think this is what I'm thinking on this, right? Trump probably signs how many checks a day? Let's just throw out a number. What do you think? 20? 50? Do you think he's sitting there going, "Hey, Michael, what amount is this, and who are we sending to, and why?" No, he's just signing it. No, he's not.
Usually people do
The
that with
guy's
their
worth
money.
billions. Dean, for me and you, like, yeah, we were obviously gonna do that. For a guy that's worth billions, he's not doing that.
So here's what my question was after reading through what was available of the trial transcripts. Is Michael Cohen got up and testified that this was not payment for legal services, that this was payments that were pretending to be legal services that were misrepresented as hush money being paid. Do you know what Donald Trump's team said that the payments were for?
I mean, I don't have specifics, no.
They never did, because Michael Cohen was already on Trump's payroll as an attorney for the organization. These were separate payments from his general salary that he already got, and they offered zero explanation about what the payments were for. Isn't that a little weird?
Okay, but the fact is that you as a lawyer still had to prove reasonable doubt that Trump even knew that what he was doing was wrong, right? Like he had to, like, what he's intended to do was to conceal a crime, correct?
Right, but
So how
so
would you do that?
here's the other wrinkle of it, is that chief executive officers, after the Enron and Sarbanes-Oxley was passed, chief executive officers are responsible for the actions of their employees. So even if you wanted to go with this whole Trump never knew what he was signing and he never directed Michael Cohen to do this, the fact that it happened under his watch makes him responsible for it.
Okay, but then again, it was him reimbursing Cohen, correct?
Well, it was payments to Cohen. Cohen fronted the money by taking a home equity loan against his house to pay Stormy Daniels, and they broke it up into payments to not make it look like a lump sum, but to make it look like separate payments.
You can't prove reimbursement as that's what it was for. Like, obviously, him is his lawyer. Like, he's going to be paying him for a ton of things. Why would that be? Why can you go, oh, this reimbursement for this?
But he was on the payroll as Trump's as a lawyer for the Trump organization. These were separate payments that were made and separate invoices that were generated to make it look like they were for legal services. But what Michael Cohen testified to and what the state was able to prove was that these weren't for legal services. These was a pass through for hush money to be paid.
I don't know. And then Michael Cohen comes
honestly,
out.
that's kind of. I don't think I've ever gotten like this nuanced of an explanation of like the case of, I was like paying a lawyer, and then the lawyer was like taking out loans to be. Honestly, that's kind of bad. These felonies are worse than I thought they were.
I don't know. And then Cohen goes on the stand and had a personal vendetta against Trump like everybody else does. Like, come on.
Well, so there's 12 jurors, and I'm sure some of these jurors were, had the same reservations that you did, and they also tried to impeach him on this. They tried to impeach him about this, but the thing is, Trump never offered a cognizable explanation for what the payments were for. He couldn't articulate what the legal services that Michael Cohen was providing above and beyond his regular salaried position for the Trump organization. They just said, well, they didn't prove anything, and the jury didn't buy it.
Okay, but then again, the prosecution had Cohen up there as their main witness. Like,
well, that's true, because he's the person who's most capable to explain, here's what I was paid for, and he said I was paid to do this hush money.
Yeah, again, like I said, as soon as Cohen decided not to be friends with Trump, then he went against him. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, I just think that you're like predisposed to just ultimately call anybody who speaks unfavorably about Trump a TDS anti-Trumper who's always lying. Like, I would assume that you say the same thing about Eugene Carroll.
That to me, like, obviously I want to believe every woman that has gone through that. But to me, there's a lot of questions on that case too.
So just to clarify, you do say the same thing about Agent Carroll.
The same thing as in what? Like
Well,
that I am skeptical of it.
Hates
Yeah.
Trump like everyone else.
No, I think she has financial incentive to say what she said. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. So not necessarily that she hates Trump, but was in it for the money. Well,
Yes,
remember,
100%.
there could only be a financial incentive for a lawsuit.
Why do you, Dean? Why would Dean? If you had a traumatic experience, would you write about it?
Do you get money? Many people write about it. Wow, what a dumb question.
Yeah, like journal. You don't go out there and tell the world everything about what happened. That's crazy.
It's crazy for victims of sexual violence to tell the world about their experience of sexual violence. Why is that insane?
I mean, me personally,
So many people are loudly outspoken about what happened to them to serve as an advocate against sexual violence, to raise awareness about the heinous lived experiences that nearly every woman and girl have. I mean, every woman and girl I've met in my life has some type of a story to tell. And the only way to ever combat the impact of rape culture and ensure that the next generation of women and girls and some men and boys growing up in this world, aren't turned into victims by predators is to be very loudly outspoken about that. You're literally just dismissing the credibility of the E. Jean Carroll rape case by saying, well, if she was truly a victim, she wouldn't have spoke up. That's insanity.
Okay, no. You're kind of missing my point here.
And by the way, that kind of proves that there wasn't financial motivation, because her first step wasn't to sue Donald Trump for $90 million. It was just to write about it. But then he called her crazy. Then she said, "Oh, you want to fucking bet?"
Much like the problems that Donald Trump has had while being president, he creates his own problem. He literally sticks his own foot in his mouth, just like he ran on releasing the Epstein files, and then, hey, they wanted to release the Epstein files and he wouldn't do it. Like, he did that.
Why would she do? Honestly, that right there, that question is why I'll just never believe that it didn't happen to her. She didn't start with a frivolous lawsuit. She started by writing about it, and then she got angry when he defamed her, and then she said, "Wanna fucking bet," and sued his ass. Not originally for raping her, but for defaming her by speaking down on her after she wrote about what happened to her. It's like her first line of discourse surrounding what had happened to her wasn't a lawsuit, and it honestly doesn't really seem like she wanted to sue him. Okay, she didn't have enough money because he has like billionaire attorneys. Billionaire attorneys just generally make it really, really difficult to win cases too. So she wrote about it, and then she said, "Yeah, you want to fucking bet? I'll take your ass to court." And she did, and she proved it.
Yep.
Can I respond at all?
Why would a liar take it to court? Yeah.
Okay, again, like obviously, I've had friends that have been in the same situation and all, but they're not trying to go onto Facebook or Twitter or whatever and tell the world no. They tell their close friends. They go to therapy. They write in their journal. They're not going, "Hey, I'm going to write about this and I'm going to try to get all my people to do it so I can get more questions about it." Like, that's just not a normal response, Dean. And you know that's true.
I think that you're a despicable piece of shit.
Wait, so someone sharing their story and finally being able to actually share what happened to them after holding on to it for so long is like a bad thing?
Yeah, quote unquote, if the president raped you, shut the hell up about it. Just stick it to your therapist.
That's not what I'm saying.
But if you share that story publicly about how the president raped you, well, you're a fucking liar, because victims aren't supposed to speak up. You are a knight in shining bloody armor for the rape agenda. Go ahead.
That's not what I'm saying at all, dude.
But Donald Trump wasn't also the only person that she accused in her book. There were multiple people, including not the least of which Les Moonves, who's also very rich, worth lots of money, probably high hundreds of millions, if not $1 billion. And you know why she didn't go after Les Moonves? Because he kept his fucking mouth shut. He didn't say anything.
Okay. One other question.
Yeah, she said, "Here's what happened to me. If you want to call me a liar, do it. I dare you. Then I'll take your ass to court. But if you keep your goddamn mouth shut and you sit down and you stay quiet while people hear what you did to me then I'll let it slide for now, and you live to see another day without a rape conviction on your record or a court agreeing that you raped me.
And you said that this wasn't about money. Well, in the 2022 deposition, she said nobody was funding the lawsuit. Well, guess what happened? Reed Hoffman.
So you actually haven't actually read the court documents. If you go to the E. Jean Carroll court documents, and I think it's on page 9495, she said originally that nobody was paying her lawsuit, which was true. But then when Reed Hoffman offered to step up and help her out, she disclosed that to the judge. It says so in the original court documents on, like, once again, page 9495.
Also, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Illinois, who is researching or looking into this, has gone on record and said E. Jean Carroll is not now and nor has ever been under investigation regarding these claims.
Yeah, and once again, because it's literally disclosed in the original court documents. I was reading them on the stream like 4 days ago, and I wasn't expecting, and I wasn't like searching for anything surrounding her disclosing that Reed Hoffman was funding the case, but I just like randomly found it. I was just randomly reading through the documents and found where it said that it was disclosed to the judge that Reed Hoffman was funding it. So you're lying.
I'm just going based on what I was reading about.
Where'd you read that?
Yeah, you weren't reading the court documents, obviously.
Well, I can pull up that in a second. The other thing too is about that.
But where'd you find that?
The jury rejected that specific rape claim. Just by the way, I'm gonna.
So what the jury rejected was penile rape, because he didn't rape her with her penis. He raped her with his fingers.
What did you say? Sorry.
The jury rejected penile rape because it's true that he didn't rape her with his penis. He raped her with his fingers.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, like that's very easy.
I'm looking on the Guardian right now. Is that a reliable source? I don't know. It says nearly 6 months before the trial, attorney informed the judge that nonprofit funded by Reed Hoffman, which she later said she did disclose. So, boom, done.
Okay, yeah, done. Thank you for conceding.
What do you mean? You just lied.
You just read off that page that that her attorney disclosed to the judge that she was being funded.
Later. Nearly 6 months later.
Okay, and
I'm just saying, so that she lied then.
No, how could you prove that when she originally said that she was funding the trial herself that she was lying? Is it impossible to envision a scenario where at the kickoff of the trial she was funding it herself, then it gained mainstream notoriety once it was publicly announced, and then Reed Hoffman, Giga Chad, billionaire, stepped in and said, "Hey, I'm gonna help you out"?
I mean, I guess we'll let the court do its thing, and then we'll rediscuss this case.
Oh, also, like you could read this in the original court documents. In fact, I'll just put this on the phone screen. Once again, this is like from the 20, like these court documents are like years old. Okay, far before this allegation of her not disclosing where the funding was coming from came from. We'll just quickly read it together. Once again, it's rather important for us to go through this. Let's see here. At Miss Carroll's October 2022 deposition, when Carroll was pending, in response to a question asked if she was presently paying her counsel's fees, she responded that hers was a contingency case and said that no one else was paying her legal fees. At approximately 11:88, in April 10th, 2023, however, her counsel disclosed to Mr. Trump's attorneys that her refreshed recollection, quote unquote, that at some point your counsel secured additional funding from a nonprofit organization to offset certain expenses and legal fees. And that there was no evidence she knew exactly where it was coming from. So actually, this comes from a disclosure from E. Jean Carroll to Donald Trump's legal representation.
Well, so something interesting there too is it references Carroll 1. So there were two E. Jean Carroll cases. The first one was the defamation case. The second one was the grape case. The grape case actually got tried first because the court in the Carroll 1 said, well, you know, the outcome of your defamation claim is going to be dependent on the determination in the second case. So the second case was tried first. So this was in reference even to Carroll 1, which ended up being an $83 million defamation judgment, not the $5 million in the adjudication of grape or SA from Carol too. So it's not even the same case.
Yeah. And there also the next page of the court documents, once again, this is page 61 of the court documents, goes over the conclusion of a district court. And they ruled that, yeah, we're happy that she clarified that to Trump's attorneys. They did grant a discovery period to see if there was any crime committed, but they concluded that there wasn't, and that litigation funding is not relevant.
Yeah. Can we talk about other aspects of the case or no?
Why do you think she wasn't raped? Let's hear it.
No, just what is your opinion on her not remember the date, time of the year?
She did remember the year.
Is that true?
Yeah.
It seems like you're floundering now.
Yeah, late 1995 to early 1996.
Well, I'm just trying to be careful with my words. I'm not trying to say something that's wrong. That's why.
Well, how about this? What is a year? Could you tell us what a year is?
What do you mean?
I promise it's important. What's
I
a year?
remember your argument on this.
What's a year?
If you went to school in fall and then got done in June,
Just what's a year? Could you tell me what a year is?
What a year is? I
What's
think the technical definition is 365 days.
Okay. Late 2020. Late 1995 to early 1996. Okay. During winter, is that within a container of 365 days?
Yeah.
Okay. So she did remember the year that she was raped.
I don't know. It seems like if it was something that traumatic and you talked to your friends about it and your therapist about it and you wrote it down and you had a book about it, you think you would have the exact day, the exact time, and especially if you're going to try to do this claim later, you can say, hey, I can go from this time, put Trump there at this time.
Could you give me evidence that true rape victims remember the exact day they were raped? Could you provide evidence for that? I'd assume that it would be pretty easy to provide evidence for that. The evidence that you'd provide for that would be the fact that the typical rape victim that we know to truly be a rape victim because of damning evidence adequately and correctly identified the exact date that they were raped on. That's the type of evidence that you'd have to provide in order for us to understand here that this is something that is typically true of true rape victims. But see, you wouldn't be able to provide that evidence to me because it's actually false. Many rape victims don't remember the exact time, day, or in some circumstances even place that they were raped because of trauma repressant impulses that their brain onsets surrounding that very vulgar experience. Many rape victims disassociate from the specifics of when and where, and the reason why is for the reasons I just granted, because of the trauma, and they'll rather make an association because of the time of year, if it was snowy outside. I mean, I've spoken with rape victims that don't remember where it happened or when it happened, but just remember the sheets on the bed, so on and so forth. So because it's quite typical of rape victims not to remember the exact date it happened, you can't make the argument that because she didn't remember the exact date that it happened, that therefore she's not a real rape victim. Because remember, it's not the date that was traumatic to them, something that might stick with them. It was the smell, it was the feeling, it was the sheets on the bed, maybe even the color of the paint on the walls. Okay, but not the date.
I know, but Dean, but she's widely reported as a journalist, correct?
She was a journalist, yeah.
So that would mean she is either writing things down a lot or, in some way, whether on the computer or writing things down in a journal or whatever it is, writing books. You think that would have been a big piece of her, trying to recollect her.
So if a journalist is raped and the journalist didn't write down that they were raped when they were raped, then they're not a victim of rape?
No, not saying that.
That is what you're saying.
No,
your argument is that she didn't write it down, therefore it's false that she was raped.
Question of why you think that she wouldn't have done that.
No, I want to clarify here. You are saying that because she didn't write it down due to the fact that she's a journalist, she therefore wasn't raped, correct?
No, I'm not saying
Okay. So then re-clarify what your evidence is. The typical rape victim remembers the exact date that they were raped on.
Dean, clearly I don't have evidence on
Oh,
this.
okay, but you said that that's true. So you believe things without evidence.
Oh my gosh, you don't. I'm just simply saying that.
Because you did say it's true. You did say it's true that like real rape victims remember the date that it occurred on, right?
Dude, all I'm saying is, in my
Are you arguing that it's true real rape victims will remember the exact date that they were raped on? Is that a belief that you hold?
No. It's not.
Okay, so then her not knowing the exact date gives us no reason to not believe she's a real rape victim if you don't think that real rape victims would remember the date. Unbelievable.
Why didn't you do a police report?
Why don't 90% of victims do police reports? Rape is chronically underreported for a multiplicity of reasons.
And then she sued decades later, so I'm kind of confused why that took that long to do.
Well, 60% of women who are raped never report it to the authorities in their life. Let's not victim blame one for waiting 23 years.
Plus, we already established that it was Trump that kicked this off, not E. Jean Carroll.
When did we establish that?
Earlier, because she didn't take any action against him until he went off and started running his mouth about how she was a liar.
And that's when she sued him for defamation.
So you're telling me, and like I said, I don't
Listen,
know the full...
somebody just said this in my Discord, so I'm gonna credit them. Shout out Cerebus, because this is actually like super true.
Shout out Cerebus.
We hold rape survivors to impossible standards and rapists to none. Okay? Listen to what you're saying right now. It doesn't matter that she proved it in a court. It doesn't matter that she convinced a unanimous jury of 9, including a juror who was on the right. It doesn't matter that Donald Trump has 40 other accusations, including one from his ex-wife in the divorce filings. It doesn't matter that he has character priors with sexual violence, like boasting and taking pride in the sexual exploitation of beauty pageant contestants. Okay? It doesn't matter that he's mentioned the Epstein files over 1 million times and has a credible accusation from a minor. It doesn't matter that she was able to prove it through the consistency of her own testimony, the dress that she was wearing, Donald Trump's lies in courts, the cooperation of 4 of her friends, and his inability to supply DNA evidence to be tested against that on the dress. She's a liar because she doesn't remember the exact date. But then there's no evidence that you've been able to provide that rape victims do remember the exact date. You hold rape victims to impossible standards and rapists to none. It doesn't matter that he's a rapist. He's still a good president. It doesn't matter a court determined he forcefully penetrated a woman's vagina with his fingers. I think we should leave that in the past and give him the Oval Office now. It doesn't matter that he's covering for other rapists in the Epstein files. Let's just overlook that and continue to bend the knee to his presidency. You hold rape victims to impossible standards and rapists to none.
No, and listen to
and
this,
if you
too.
want to know why E. Jean Carroll took 23 years to speak out, if you want to know why rape goes chronically underreported, if you want to know why 60% of women that are raped never report it to the authorities in their lifetime, once again, it's because you hold rape victims to impossible standards and rapists to none.
Can I talk finally? I know. You're not looking at the other side of this too. Like, you're not looking at the Sean Oakmans, the Kevin Spaceys, the Duke lacrosse players, all these guys that get wrongfully, and nothing happens to the people that wrongfully commit them.
Oh, yeah. And when you hop in your car every day to drive to go to work, you're not looking at all the people who hop in their car and get T-boned by drunk drivers. Why? Because it's just significantly unlikely for you to get T-boned by a drunk driver when you're on your way to work. Sure, does it happen? Do we see cases of it every so often? 110%? Are we usually able to identify like what led to it occurring in most scenarios? I mean, like such as it being like a holiday, it being late at night, it being like New Year's Eve, like so on and so forth. Okay, of course. But you don't look at that when you're hopping in your car to drive on your way to work. The same way that I don't consider the very minute amount of false allegations lobbed at some men, because in this scenario, it wasn't just a allegation, it was proved in court, and the amount of rape allegations that are proved in court that are false is infinitesimally low, and when they're proven to be false, okay, well, we have good reason to believe it's false, but you wouldn't be able to identify any good reason to believe in which this is false. And by the way, you cannot compare it to acquittals. Like, for instance, Kevin Spacey wasn't ruled innocent. Okay, the case was just thrown out. He was acquitted by the jury. So keep that in mind.
Also, you called this out like there's a bunch
Also,
of
real
just
quick,
like
for the
innocent
Duke
men
lacrosse-
running around and women are just accusing them. Like that's not the norm. And more
There's
often than
plenty of
not, you
college
have
athletes, black
more
athletes
often than
that do
not,
that.
you have cases like the
You should have
Stanford
their back.
swimmer that was
You should have
actually
their back.
given a sweetheart deal because the judge didn't want to quote unquote wreck their future. So that's more likely than what you're claiming.
Santana, you should have those black athletes back. There's so many of them that get wrongfully accused. It's horrible.
What the fuck does their race have to do with anything? Like, the point being is overwhelmingly you don't have a point. Women aren't just
Your
out here
lives are all
randomly
about race.
accusing men. And even if it was just like random accusation, she proved it in the court of law. You just don't want to believe it because it's cognitive dissonance.
Like, also, like, the last thing I'll say here, then I want to pass the mic to Law, is you're always going to be able to, like, find outline scenarios to serve as a quote-unquote counterposition to any argument. You know, like for instance, when people will say that the government did 9/11 because the government lied. Okay, well, like, I could give, like, a comprehensive argument insofar as why I don't think that the government lied about this. But then, like, the person I'm debating with could just be like, oh, well, can you agree, Dean, that the government has lied in some scenarios? Yeah, that doesn't mean the government was lying in this scenario. Okay? Right? Or like, for example, are you a Christian?
Yeah.
Oh, well, a bunch of people say that they're like Muslims and Prophet Muhammad wasn't a prophet. Therefore, like, believing that any religion is true based on evidence is bullshit, right? It's logically fallacious to suggest that because there's other scenarios similar to this scenario of a woman accusing a man of rape and then proving it in a court, that therefore we could assume by default that this woman was lying. No. In fact, we should assume the opposite because typically we actually do trust the outcomes of courts. All right. We're not going to say that everybody who gets criminally convicted of a crime is innocent because admittedly we can identify some scenarios where people are falsely convicted. No, we're going to say that we're going to believe that outcome based on the evidence suggested unless there's any reason that you would identify to convince us to not believe the outcome. And when it's about Trump, I find that to be an ironclad case. Okay? Because there are other scenarios of him boasting about sexual violence, saying that it's funny, saying he took pride in it, disrespecting women, disrespecting girls, disrespecting their their consent. And for you to turn around and say that this man is innocent is an act of horror against women and girls, an act of horror against humanity, and
I'll say
honestly,
two
just such a
things.
grave telling of the person
Two
you
things of
are.
that. Two things of that. One, like, if you are sexually abused, harassed, anything like that, I hope whoever did it to you gets put to the wood chipper. That's my honest belief. Two, okay, as I read more about this case, to me, there's just a little bit more caution, in my opinion. Like,
If
it
any of those like
happened in-
sports players were found guilty of rape in a court, and then we like unearth this clip of them taking pride in sexually violating women, would you believe that they're guilty?
Repeat that one more time. I cut the last part.
If
but
like
not
one of
the
these
first
like Duke lacrosse players were found guilty of rape in a court of law, but then like we found this like unearthed clip of them saying that they take pride in and they find it funny when they sexually violate all of these women and girls, would you believe that they're guilty?
I would think that they're guilty, yeah.
Donald Trump has said that he finds it funny and he takes pride in him sexually violating women and girls. He said this to Howard Stern on his radio show when he would
said
boast about barging
backstage.
into their dressing rooms.
No, he said backstage.
Yeah, their
You
dressing
put the
rooms that
joke-
were backstage, dummy. Holy.
I listened to you and your Cam whole debate on that. There's no proof either way on that.
No,
So I
there
don't
is.
believe-
What? He said that he would walk into a space that men weren't allowed, place that he wasn't supposed to be.
Is
He
there
got
any
away with
pictures of
entering
this
in.
place?
What?
Is there any pictures of this place?
Any pictures of like the different halls in which they would compete at? Yes. You could find like the ground layouts on the internet. And all of them have the
Can you
dressing
see
room in the
backstage is my
backstage area.
question.
What's
Because in many times backstage they have all like the mirrors and seating, and they're doing their makeup and they're doing all that. Like, that is backstage. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a changing room. Like,
that? So they had specific changing rooms backstage for when they would get in and out of their bathing suits. Because they'd be fully naked, and men worked at the pageants on the crew, for production because it was televised, just generally as assistants and staff. Okay, like clearly, like like the women are gonna get naked in front of naked in front of a bunch of random men, and like the girls that were underage, okay, like can't get naked in front of a bunch of random men. Like that's exploitative by nature because they can't consent.
I'm just you think that all these girls were just naked backstage and Trump just randomly walks in there and goes, "Hey girls," and then everyone's like, "Oh my gosh."
That's not what I think. That's what he said, and that's what they said. That's what everyone said.
That's the tough part about this. And you said you heard Dean talk about this, so I know you heard him play the video. Like he's already played Trump's own words saying this. Like again, cognitive dissonance.
Okay, but like I said, he said backstage, you said dressing room. That's clearly not true.
No. It's not. I'm saying one thing. Trump said another. I'm saying that Donald Trump said he went into the dressing rooms because the description that he gave was of dressing rooms in the backstage area.
The description.
Yes. If I told you, is your definition a woman an adult human female?
Is my definition of a woman adult human female?
Yes. Is that your definition?
I go by D's and V's.
So can you answer the question?
Yeah, sure.
Try to be an adult.
So that is your definition?
Sure.
So if I told you that I'm dating an adult human female, would you think that I'm telling you I'm dating a woman?
Yeah.
When did I say the word woman? I just gave a description of what you think a woman is. Trump never said dressing room. Yeah, he just gave the fucking definition of what a dressing room is. An area where men aren't allowed, and there's a bunch of naked women changing, and he broke a rule by entering. No men anywhere, and inside, and you had to take advantage of the fact that he was the owner doing a fake inspection. Get fucking real. This is the most dumb argument ever. And I can't believe that crazy guy, Cam Higbee, popularized this bullshit. Never said dressing room.
What also is interesting is in the clip, he says that he would go in there and there's all these women there with no clothes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go in backstage. You go into dressing rooms. You just go backstage.
That's such a good point, Law. Holy shit. He got awfully silent just now.
What do you want me to say?
Don't worry, the response is going to be, he never said dressing rooms. They just, yeah, that's the point.
Dissonance.
They just get stuck on loop. Hey. Remember when you said that I was telling you I was dating a woman by telling you I'm dating an adult human female? Did I ever say woman?
Dean, that's such a bad...
Did I ever say woman?
No, but it's such a bad comparison.
Oh, why is it a bad comparison? Because I never said woman.
It's a horrible comparison.
Why? Tell me. Specify the reasons.
Dean, I'm clearly not as smart as you in these
debates.
No,
just go ahead and specify the reasons why that's a horrible
comparison. I don't do this every day, and clearly you do nonstop.
Just specify the reasons why it was a bad comparison, please.
Because in my opinion, when it's like he says backstage, which is an actual comprehensible logical place in a pageant. So when he says that, why wouldn't he have just said dressing room? That doesn't make sense to me in my head. And like I said, maybe I'm just not as smart as you Democrats, so that's fine. But when you say backstage, when you could have used the word dressing room,
then why didn't I just say woman? Why would I say adult human female?
It's the same thing. Dressing room and backstage aren't the same thing.
Okay, well, if the dressing rooms are backstage, then it is. Not to mention that every single woman and girl who remembered this happening to them all said it happened in the dressing rooms. Do you think they're all liars?
No,
answer my question. Do you think they are all liars?
No, I don't think they're all liars.
So they were telling the truth when they all said it happened in the dressing rooms?
No, we're talking about Trump's what he said, and
and we're talking about these women and girls corroborating what he said.
Corroborating against a highly.
So I just want to clarify when they all said that happened in the dressing rooms, they're lying, right?
Did they say this before or after Howard Stern show?
After. They said it in 2015.
Okay.
So make the point, make it clear, because I don't get it. So they were lying.
Absolutely, they were lying.
And why do you think they were lying?
Why did they come up with it before? They had to wait till they could get a money
Because
grab. To
just,
do it?
just I don't want a question. I want an explanation.
Everything is fine.
I don't want a question. I want an explanation. Why were they lying?
Why were they lying?
Yeah.
Like I just said, it came out after the show. They clearly wanted a money grab, and they
So
wanted
like
notoriety.
they wanted to attack Trump, right, to get money, right, and fame.
Correct.
Okay. So then explain Veronica, who said that it happened in the dressing rooms, but Trump did nothing wrong because he ensured that we all had clothes on first. Even the women defending Donald Trump said that it happened in the dressing rooms. He just made sure that they all had clothes on. Dude, get fucking real. They were just, attacking my president. They were just going after Trump because they hate him. Even the women defending him said it happened in the dressing rooms.
What's her name?
Veronica.
What's her last name?
I want to say Hughes. No,
Yeah,
but
it is
that's
Veronica Hughes.
That is?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like every single one of them. Every single one of them said it happened in the dressing rooms.
How many people said it happened in the dressing room? Did you say?
Dude, like fucking 15. And you were like, oh, money and fame. There were even women and girls that specifically requested the media outlets identified them as anonymous. They didn't want their names to be public, and they still said it happened in the dressing rooms.
I'm just saying, in your opinion, if they're having locker room talk, why was Trump not saying dressing room? Why would he say backstage?
Because he doesn't need to say dressing room when he could say, men weren't anywhere. And honestly, I was breaking a rule by entering. I got away with it, and I abused my position of power as the owner of the pageant. I go back there to do an inspection like a doctor because they were all naked and changing. Respond to the fact that every single woman and girl who remembered this happening to them said it happened in the dressing rooms. Your explanation of why they all lied is because they wanted money and fame to hate on the president, to hate on Trump, okay? Well, what completely debunks that explanation is the fact... No, shut up. What completely debunks... Shut the fuck up. What completely debunks your explanation is even the women who defended Donald Trump said it happened in the dressing rooms. So I just want to clarify that you're saying that, yes, because the other people didn't defend Donald Trump because his actions were indefensible. Yes. But explain to me, how was Veronica Hughes lying to get money and fame by hating on Trump by defending Trump? And how we're like, for instance, the 3 teens from Miss Teen USA lying to get money and fame when they explicitly asked the news outlets to refer to them as anonymous beauty pageant contestants.
Look at this right here. Many other contestants from the same event said they didn't remember it happening that way, or the reports were exaggerated. One former contestant explicitly called some claims overblown.
Veronica, we're talking about Veronica Hughes, who said it happened in the dressing rooms.
Fucking donut. Holy shit,
What
he
are
thought
you
he got
booming?
gotcha.
What are you booming?
Oh
I told
my
you about
God.
Veronica Hughes like 3 minutes ago.
Like,
Are you just
literally.
catching up? Like, my argument this
Holy
whole time
shit.
has been about Veronica Hughes saying, it might even be Victoria Hughes, who is saying, oh, it was completely overblown. It never happened the way they said it did. And we were all dressed when he'd come in. But it happened in the dressing rooms.
Provided. Look at that. Boom. Done.
So I just want to clarify, your big boom moment is something that I've been trying to tell you for the last 5 minutes.
Oh, you fucking donut.
You're an idiot. You're actually a droid.
All I'm saying, there's no criminal charges here.
No. I just want to clarify. Is your big boom moment the one fucking girl I've been telling you about for 5 minutes?
It says multiple. I gotta go back to where it said that. It
Who
said
are the other
multiple.
ones? Who are the other
It's
ones?
not
Who are
just
the
one.
other ones? Who are the other ones that said it never happened?
Let me go to this. It has a nice little link here for me. Give me a second.
Thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat. Elizabeth, who says, I would go backstage, and there were like no men anywhere I'd get away with things like that. A sexual exploitation and abuse of power. He clearly went in there to oogle him straight from the horse's mouth. Cognitive dissonance for real. Yeah, because this
wait.
man's a fucking donut, dude.
Dean, what did you lied earlier? What did you say about what is her name? What did you say about Victoria Hughes earlier? What did you say? I gotta play it back if I can do it.
that
What'd you say about it?
explicitly Victoria
No.
Hughes said that he would walk into the dressing rooms, but
before that, you gave her a
we'd make sure
pre-intro.
that they all had
You
like
gave her a
clothes
pre-intro.
on and whatnot.
No, you said she was a Trump supporter.
No, I said that she was
No, he
defending
didn't.
Trump.
He said no. You said it was a Trump supporter. I'm going to play that
No,
back.
I
he
said
did
that she was
not.
defending.
He said defending Trump. Absolutely.
Holy fuck. You are not good at this.
Yeah, Santana, I don't do this shit every day. You dumb.
No, I mean,
Ethan!
like.
Oh my goodness. Ethan, thank you so much for the $50 donation on Venmo. I really appreciate you, man. I want to see 500 Ethan W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much for that love and support, Ethan. Ethan with a 50 says, I've been watching for a long time now. I'm not sure if you've seen me around, but you've educated me so much and you're so insightful. You're also a great guitarist. I'd love to hear more. I'm not sure what your future holds, but let me say that you've got my vote. Ethan, you're the absolute goat. Thank you so much for the $50. That is such an incredibly kind donation. I want to see 500 Ethan W's down below in that chat. Same thing to Mary. Thank you for the 5. Samantha, thank you for the $20. I'm just really good at retaining information to answer your question. Thank you so much, Samantha. Ellis, thank you for the $12. Who says, Dean, watching you, Santana Parker, and Law, and having those chuds stumbling over their words brings me a little bit of laughter amidst the bogged down feeling that I get from seeing all the shitty stuff that's going on in the world. Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Ellis, for the $12. You are so very kind, and I'm so very appreciative of you. Thank you for the love and support. Same thing to Amy. Thank you for the $15. Who says, I don't know about that, Amy, but I appreciate you for the $15. Megan, thank you for the $15. Thank you so much, Megan. Nick, thank you for the 5. Kaylee, thank you for the 1. And Mackenzie with the 2. I appreciate you guys. If you want to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio on TikTok. The ad's right there too. Dean Withers without the E. Ellie, thank you for the $10. Who says, I'm so mad as an essay victim. I don't remember the date, the year at all, because it was way easier to forget and move on. And now you got this guy shitting on you and all the other survivors out there. I'm so sorry about that, Ellie. It genuinely sucks. On Dean, thank you for the $10 as well. Thank you so much, on Dean. Amazing, thank you for the 1. Joy, thank you for the 10. Who says, you're amazing for not throwing up during such sickening arguments. We need people like you, bro. Dude, this shit is gross. And SJ, thank you for the $15. Thank you. Huge shout out to you, SJ. Go ahead. So you said that there are other women outside of Victoria Hughes who said it never happened. Who are they?
Dean, can you describe to me what a dressing room is?
A dressing room, like specifically a woman's dressing room, would be a room in which women have a reasonable expectation of privacy away from men to get dressed.
I would say a place you go in where women don't have clothes on, no other men are allowed, and if you go in there, you're getting away with something.
Yes.
How do you get in there?
True.
How do you get in there?
By walking in.
You definitely have to walk into a dressing room, but you don't have to walk into backstage.
Walking in what way? Like a door?
I don't. It's dependent on the space. Some dressing rooms have doors, some don't.
Oh, it's open. Is that what you're saying? Open?
Some are, absolutely. They don't have a door. It's just an entry.
Interesting.
What's interesting about that? Have you ever been to a gym before?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. At most commercial gyms, there's no door on the locker rooms. They just simply have an open entryway that permits that permits any
door to get in there.
No, incorrect.
What gyms do you go to, Dean?
The gym in my town,
My
the
gym
commercial
just has a
gym in my
corner
town.
you walk around.
Exactly. You just walk around the corner.
Yep.
And they do that because of fire code.
Okay, every gym that I have in Michigan here has a door to enter into a changing room or dressing room.
And some too. Like my old gym had a door. Absolutely. But like not all of them. I mean, the two setups for restrooms and dressing rooms are either you have a physical door that you enter into or you're just going to walk in. Like, for instance, I was at DIA a couple hours ago flying home. That's Denver International Airport. The bathrooms there, at least for their like newer ones and like terminal like B, for instance, there's no like door that you open. You just kind of like walk in and then you turn a corner. So then you're in a space that's not visible from anywhere on the outside. At Walmart's the same thing. At like the big restrooms at Walmart, you just kind of like walk in and then turn a corner. Like you've never been in any commercialized business, either into a dressing room, locker room, or a bathroom where there was no like physical door that you open and close, but you just kind of like walk around a corner.
I'm just saying, but you're at least
No. Have you ever been in a commercialized business?
Yeah, like Walmart. Your
where...
Walmart example makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then you understand the concept that I'm describing to you. Do you think that it's okay for men to barge in to the women's restroom at Walmart because there's no physical door on it?
No.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Carrie Prejean Bowler, Melissa Young. Those are just some notable people.
That did what?
You asked me a question. I'm giving you people's names. I don't know what you literally asked me to give you names. So
Okay, so Melissa Young, did she say that it never happened?
I'm saying she defended Trump. You asked me who else defended Trump.
Yeah, you're citing me an
Carrie
article from
Bowler.
2016 where she thanked Trump for helping her Mexican American son, not saying that he never barged into the dressing rooms. What?
She pushed back on the inappropriate stories that were made about her, about him.
Can I see that?
Let me see where this is from. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're saying the dressing rooms don't have.
Wait, why are you going back? Are you going to get that information for Dean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, look for the information while you continue the statement, because it's just an object fact that many dressing rooms don't have physical doors on them. I use one 5 days a week when I go to the gym. Me.
Guinea, thank you so much for the 10. I appreciate the support, and I'm glad that you've learned so much from that. Thank you so much for the 10. Also, Gail, thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate you.
Jana Rickley says, I never saw Donald Trump in the fitting room and never witnessed any inappropriate behavior whatsoever.
Okay, so not Melissa Young. Jenna Wickley. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I believe her. Because I don't think that Donald Trump barged into every dressing room of every beauty pageant contestant at every single year, at every single event. Okay, many of these events would overlap the times of years. In many of these events, some of the women would get disqualified, then sent home. So maybe he went in after they were disqualified, or maybe he went into Miss USA one day, then Miss Teen USA the next day, or maybe he went into one dressing room on one day, 1 year, then didn't ever do it again. And this was just a one-time event. Okay, there are about a billion scenarios here that clearly entail the conclusion that it would happen to some women and girls, but not other women and girls. Okay, and in fact, you argue otherwise that because some of them were well, it never happened to me. Imagine that your friend was on trial for murder, and then you testified at his trial saying, well, he didn't murder this other person because he never murdered me. Clearly that defense wouldn't stand.
Okay, and then what's this girl's name? Carrie says, to pay Mr. Trump as someone who would purposely walk into a woman's dressing room and ask women to come and press it is the most disgusting accusation so far. Trump has empowered me as a woman. Has given me career opportunities and defended me during my reign as Miss California USA. So there's just
so another woman that it didn't happen to personally. Do you agree that operating under the hypothesis that he did walk into their dressing room sometimes would entail the conclusion that therefore necessarily he sexually exploited every woman and girl at every pageant at every year? And obviously, because he said he would walk in and see them naked, it definitely means, it 100% means that he walked into the dressing rooms at least once. Dude, considering the fact we have a bunch of women who are yeah, it happened. And then some other women, they're well, it didn't happen to me, which is naturally expected under the hypothesis that it did happen. And his admission of guilt, clearly it happened. None of the 3 women that we've been able to identify so far, they're either it didn't happen to me or it kind of did happen to me, but I was dressed when it happened. Okay, right? This, it does nothing to reduce the likelihood of my claim that Donald Trump sexually exploited some of the women and girls at all, right?
I'm just saying
it doesn't reduce the likelihood of that claim being true in the slightest, right?
There's no evidence.
Even if it didn't happen, isn't it just morally repugnant that somebody thinks that it's okay to let people believe you that it happened? So let's just pretend that it never actually happened. But he thinks that it's awesome to go and tell stories about walking in on naked women in a manner in which nobody else would be able to get away with it.
He did say naked. He said that they had no clothes on.
He did, and you have to be naked to have no clothes on.
Okay, when I go to the beach,
it feels like you're actually just dealing in semantics. A genuine question. Why is it that you're struggling this hard to find some type of wiggle room to give Donald Trump grace that he didn't even give himself? Like Donald Trump openly admitted these things, and you're defending him harder than he defended himself.
It's because he's a brainwashed sheep. Like it's because he's a failure of a man.
Not true.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just
When
saying,
he's found guilty of 34 felonies, he didn't personally do it. When he's found guilty of raping a woman in a court of law, he never did it. She's a crazy liar. When he has 40 plus credible accusations, they're all liars. When he admitted to sexual violence, he was just kidding, bro. Like, you were absolutely a sheep. Now embarrass yourself by making the point about why you think that people who are wearing no clothes are apparently not naked. Make the fucking point about the beach, little bro.
You're kind of an ass, but that's okay.
No, I'm absolutely an ass to you. I have no respect for you. None. Okay.
You're literally up here caping for someone who sexually abused women and young teens. So, like, we don't feel sympathy for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't at all. So make the point. Make the point about wearing no clothes. Let's hear it.
Okay, one, I would never die on the hill that Donald Trump is just some moral superior guy. I would never do that, nor do I believe that. Nor do I think any politician is.
Could you just make the point about why you don't think that they were naked, even though Donald Trump said they had no clothes on?
I'm just saying, when I'm on the beach and my daughter's next to me, and I see some guy in a skimpy Speedo, I'm clearly gonna say, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna close your eyes. They have no clothes on. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, daughter name. Like, there's a guy over there that has a Speedo on it, so she goes and looks. No, clearly not.
If you don't want your daughter to see dudes in Speedos, then don't take her to the beach.
You understand what I'm saying?
No, I don't. Because dudes with Speedos, they're
like
nearly
I would say
naked,
that guy has
but they're not naked.
no clothes on. No, he's not naked, but he literally is dressed to not have much on. Like clearly
to not have much on, so he still has some clothes on.
Also, there's a reasonable expectation to see people in Speedos on a beach. So if you go to a beach, then you should reasonably expect to see people that are quote unquote half naked, not fully naked, but that's like people wear Speedos, bikinis, two pieces. But there's no sense of privacy on a public beach. The backstage area where women are getting prepared for a beauty pageant contest, there's a reasonable expectation. There's a reasonable expectation of privacy. A reasonable expectation of privacy. You're literally just you're a rape apologist. That's all you're doing right now is rape apologia. Like, you guys, you're so fucking gross. This is so stupid. I'm sorry. Like, Dean has broken this down to the decimal.
Well, let's assume that, like, maybe, like, the women that he walked in on were, like, wearing so little clothes that your argument would follow they have no clothes on, right? Like, maybe, like, a thong and no top because they're in the middle of getting dressed. Okay. They're still getting sexually violated.
What do you want me to say?
Concede? Because even if you're right, it's still sexual exploitation?
Again, I'm not going to keep being a dead horse.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying even if what you're saying here is right, then it's still sexual exploitation. They don't need to be fully naked to get sexually exploited. If they have, like, thongs on and whatnot, okay, yeah, they're still getting sexually exploited.
They're wearing thongs as Miss USA. What are you talking about?
The fact
These girls
is,
are wearing nothing in the whole time, anyways. Have you ever seen one of those things?
So rape victims. So not rape victims. Sorry. Porn stars just put their naked bodies on the internet all the time, anyways. So I mean, if you install a camera in one of their houses when you're working on their HVAC because you're a blue collar working man, it doesn't matter if you see them naked in the shower. They put their naked bodies on the internet anyways.
You missed the whole point again.
What point did I miss? You're saying, oh well, it seems like they're okay with being seen in some context with similar levels of clothes on. So when they're on stage, they have no clothes on. So Donald.
What I'm saying is,
can you be on TV with no clothes on?
No, but can you be on TV with a...
Wait, what Miss Teen USA and Miss USA were publicized. They were public on TV.
Dean,
So Donald Trump was breaking... So I just want to clarify that Donald Trump was breaking, television laws, according to you.
No, you brought up
because he
thongs,
was putting
dude.
people on the internet with no clothes on.
These girls are wearing a thong when they're doing their.
There's a difference
walks.
between thong underwear and a bathing suit.
What's the difference between those two?
Oh, so then you're standing 10 toes down. Okay, so when your daughter,
What's the
if your
difference
daughter,
between them?
if your daughter were to ever go to the beach in a bikini, this would just make it okay for any man to look at her in her undies.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I don't
But what's the difference?
Real quick, so if they're going on stage in their swimsuits, why would no men be allowed backstage when they're in their swimsuits?
I don't know. Good question. I don't know.
So it's almost like when they've got no clothes on, it's less than swimsuits, right?
Oh, dude. Wow, I like you, Law. Good arguments. I guess he's a lawyer, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give this one to the lawyer.
I'm just going based on what he said. That's all I'm going based on.
No, you were going off of the most favorable possible interpretation, ignoring all subtext that he said.
I mean, we can agree to disagree, I guess. Like,
Oh my god.
Lots, it's all you, man. Your debate.
I don't know what more we could do here. He has taken every avenue, whether it's he didn't say backstage, they didn't have clothes on. It's they wear swimsuits. Can you at least concede that it's possible that he went into the dressing rooms? Can you at least do that?
I'm just saying, Law. If he's backstage and they are about to
Can
walk
you concede
on
that it's
stage-
possible?
No, Law. Listen, Law.
No, can you concede that it's possible?
Wait, concede that it's possible. What? Say it again. Sorry, I missed it.
He walked into the
That he
dressing
went
rooms.
into the backstage. He went backstage into dressing rooms, and there were naked women there. Is that a possible interpretation of what he said?
Yeah.
Then why are you fighting so hard against it?
Because I think there's also on the other side that didn't happen. Like I said, I keep going back to this, and maybe I'm far off on this, but when he's talking to Howard Stern in a what do they call it, in a locker room setting, why did he not just say dressing room? That's what I kind of get hung up on. Why did he not just say that? Why did he say backstage?
He doesn't even finish sentences because he stops himself in the middle of a sentence and goes to a new sentence. So it's not like this was scripted out. He's just acting through in real time. I'll go backstage. That's step one. And then I go in.
Law,
Go
you would
in
think
where?
if he's talking off script, you think he would just let dressing room be the word that he does. You're making my point. The fact that it's not scripted.
I'm sorry.
makes me
He does say dressing room. When he says that he's going into a space where men aren't allowed, where women get dressed.
Oh my God, Steve.
No, when he says that he goes into a space that men aren't allowed, that women are naked and getting dressed inside of, that he's breaking a rule by entering, that he gets away with by entering, he says that's a dressing room. Like, can we agree that
I'm not going
a
through this
place
argument again with you.
where men aren't allowed, that women will use to get dressed, is a woman's dressing room?
I don't think any men are allowed backstage at his things.
Just answer the question. A place where men aren't allowed, that women will use to get dressed privately, is a dressing room, right?
One more time.
A room where
room.
men can't go in because they're not allowed, where women
allowed to
are
go.
getting naked and dressed, is a woman's dressing room.
Correct.
So a place where men aren't allowed, where women are getting dressed, is a dressing room. Thank you for agreeing that Donald Trump said dressing room.
Like I said, I agree
Dude,
with your
it's so fucking simple. You have to be a legit bot, an actual droid. Well, Dean, I agree. I agree, Dean. Where's the fucking red hat? I agree, Dean. Women's dressing rooms are spaces where men aren't allowed, where women get dressed. But even though Trump said even though Trump said he'd go into space where men are allowed and women get dressed and he saw their boobies and he got away with it. No, he wasn't referring to the dressing rooms and all those crazy ladies who said that it did happen to him in the dressing rooms were lying. Oh my God. It's just unbelievable. It is genuinely unbelievable.
I just listen to that. I don't see it the way you see it, and then I read these.
You're just a droid, dude. A
It
legit
has to be
droid.
painful to be that stupid. Like, literally.
It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. It's just, God, I hate it.
I've never seen someone like go through that level of mental gymnastics to try to defend something that's so obvious. Because even if he had, when the conversation started, even if he had some type of trepidation or some type of pushback, everything was ironed out, and he just kept going back to, well, he just didn't say the word. Like, he acknowledged everything, but since that one word didn't exist, he couldn't accept that's what it was. It's cognitive dissonance.
That has to be.
Well, and the thing is that argument didn't even come out until fairly recently. Because I remember when this story first broke, nobody was making this "he never said dressing room" because it was obviously clear.
Law, it's Dean's fault.
Yeah,
Dean started the dressing room backstage thing. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's my fault. That's me.
He did.
That's me. Because that's what Cam Higbee had argued for an hour on my live stream. And by the time that Cam Higbee was done arguing this position, he had his moderators on his YouTube stream saying, Cam, bro, just act like your internet went out and dip. Like, even his own moderators were like, bro, you are losing badly. And then he had like his own followers sending him like $25 donos on YT saying, Dean's right, Cam. You got to concede, dude. Like, I love you and I hate that motherfucker, but he is right about this point. So, like, and then he like clipped it up selectively. By the way, you guys will never see somebody I debate publish a full debate that I had with him. They will always clip it selectively and then walk you through the selectively clipped moments. Like, there was another person who did that. I don't know. Some random droid. His video got like 25,000 views and the comments were like, Dean's never won a debate. And what he did, because I debated him for an hour, what he did is he'd like preface a 10-second clip with like a minute of his context, let the 10-second clip play, and then add another minute of his context, let another 10-second clip play, and then another minute of his It's sanity. It's sanity. God, Jesus. It's just
it's like, it's sad that they've all watched the same clip and they think that's the gotcha, so they all come back. Like, they rehearse that very clip that they watch and they come back and try to run it thinking that this is the time they're going to win the debate.
Yeah, and then they just repeat. Listen, Santana Law, I appreciate y'all for coming up. I'm actually going to...
I appreciate you, Dean.
In the debates here. I thank you guys so much for joining us.
Really quickly, did you get a chance to watch the Jubilee yet?
I got a chance to watch your conversation with him and then Parker's. You guys both did well. I haven't watched.
I was gonna say, what did you think? It was so oh my God, he was so bad.
Dude, he was terrible.
It was so bad.
Dude, he I don't know what happened to him. On like specifically like when he was debating Parker, like he broke down. He just straight up just
he would
stopped
not
working.
answer questions. Like, he just, I told, and that was like after Parker went, it was like the intermission or whatever. I told Parker, I said, I would not be shocked if he didn't come back out. Like, I would not even have blamed him if he wouldn't have come back out. It was bad.
Yeah. And, so the reason why he's doing this is to like advertise, like, I don't know. I forget, like this tour, like book thing he's doing. I forget which one. And, God, it just doesn't look like it went his way. Yeah, the Florida Man. He's doing the Florida Man.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he did it. He did it to advertise the Florida Man.
He hasn't posted anything. Like, it came, and you know how they'll usually post stuff or whatever. I've been looking at his socials. He hasn't posted anything
Not
Like
a thing.
it was not good.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I really think that the surrounded concept is what exposes the legitimacy of a political commentator. If a political commentator can go on Jubilee and sit down in the middle of that circle and do a 1v30 and get out of the other end without getting clowned all over the internet, then they're pretty legit, right?
Yeah.
It is a really good litmus test for the general intelligence and political wit of a political commentator, because you just get to hear a very extreme pushback from 30 different people. And regardless of the intelligence level of those people, ultimately, when you have 30 different people giving you pushback on like the same singular point, you are bound to have it hit from like all possible angles. And if you could withstand that all possible angles test, like, you know, you're pretty legit. Clearly, Dave Rubin couldn't.
Oh, it was so bad. One other thing before I go, W. Sorsha. See you, bro.
So yeah, Law, appreciate you so much for joining.
Appreciate you. It is good to be up with you again. It's been a while, so
It has.
it's awesome to see too. Like I remember back when we were doing some co-hosting, you had like 1,200 people, and we were happy with that. Like this was like back like pre 1 million followers, and I've just been so proud of you, seeing you grow, seeing you mature, both with your debate styles and with your production, and it's been an honor to be part of your journey.
Dude, well, Law, you know, you're awesome. You're always invited on to the live. One of my favorite people on TikTok, and I appreciate you for your very kind words. You have a good rest of your night. Huge shout out to Law. Over on Super Chat, Rodney, thank you for the $10. Who says he sounded like a small child who got caught and then tried to get out of a punishment. Yeah, just like whining. Like it just went from a debate to a whine sesh. Wesley, thank you for the $10. Who says, if you see this, ask the guest when his cult fees are dues. Oh, for real? Evie, thank you for the $10. And Chaos, I appreciate you for the $10. Laura, Loura, thank you for the $20. She says, thank you for all that you do. Love all of you. Dude, love you too, Laura. Thank you for the $20. And Elizabeth, thank you so much for the $10. Adam, thank you so much for the $10. And then over on Venmo, thank you so much. For the $5. Alexis with a 1. Leo with a 10. Thank you so much for that love and support. Belly and Cassandra, thank you guys for the $5 and the $3. And then Erica, thank you for the $25 donation for the graveyard shift. Dude, we are on late tonight. This is the graveyard shift. Show some love to Erica. Olivia, thank you for the $10. Mackenzie, thank you for the 2. Nick, thank you so much for the 5. Jeremy, thank you so much for the 2. Megan, thank you for the 15. I appreciate you so much, Megan. Amy with the 15, and then Ellis with the 12. Thank you guys so much for that love and support. I'm going to read y'all's messages to myself over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the $5, Sarah. Navy Girl with the 10, who says, always enjoy watching you because you cause MAGA crash outs. Keep on keeping on, Dean. Appreciate you, Navy Girl. Emily, thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate you so much, Emily. And then Blanca, thank you for the $15. She says, I hope that you at some point can become the president or Colorado's governor. We need somebody with sane mind and can actually think for themselves and follow through within human rights beliefs. Well, I don't know if I'll ever be in public office. Maybe one day. We'll have to see where life takes me. Thank you for the incredibly kind words and the $50 donation. I'm so very grateful for you, Blanca. I know that you've been watching for a while. Please show some love to Blanca down below. And Victoria, thank you for the $10 as well, folks. We are going to go ahead and cut the stream a little shorter than usual here at 3 hours and 20 minutes because we are on late tonight. I will see you all at the usual time tomorrow. And for all of my LGBTQ plus friends in Central and Eastern time zones, happy Pride. That's it for the night. Hit that follow button on your way out on TikTok. Drop a sub on YouTube. Peace, love. Good night and goodbye. Usually when I say good night and goodbye, I don't really mean it. Because it's not like the middle of the night. But today I mean it. Go get some sleep. It's like 2 a.m. Bye, guys.